coffee for a true breakfast of champions. 2 crisp sandwiches for just $4, available until 10:30 weekdays and 11 a.m. on weekends. Only at Burger King, 7 Mile Beach, Waterfront, Walkers Road, Town Center Plaza, and now Red Bay.
Whether you want to get going in a new car, to relax at home while you pay bills on your mobile banking app, to get the best rewards with your credit card, or to get a sure start on your little one's future. Whether you want a quick response on your loan, or just a range of services that keep your business running smoothly, you want banking that fits your life. CIBC First Caribbean. Banking that fits your life.
Get the quality, the service, the wide range of products in the BRAC. Everything you love about Paramount Carpets is now available on Cayman BRAC. Carpets, flooring, drywall, paints, windows and doors, lumber, from plumbing to electrical supplies. You'll find it all and a whole lot more at Paramount Carpets, Cayman BRAC.
We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor at Paramount Carpets.
3 of the finest liquor stores on island are located on West Bay Road on beautiful 7 Mile Beach. Tortuga Fine Wines and Spirits, Governors Square, the greenery near the Strand, and 7 Mile Shops Plaza. Tortuga Fine Wines and Spirits boasts the widest selection and even offers free wine and spirit tastings at all 7 Mile Beach locations every Friday from 5 till 7 p.m. Family owned and operated since 1984.
If it matters to you, it matters to us. We're Cayman 27, Cayman Informed.
This is the only morning show that matters. Cayman Crosstalk. Cayman Crosstalk.
Come back home to your island. For I long to see you walk upon my sand. For my shores, they belong to my children, and my children belong to Grand Cayman. For my shores, they belong to my children, and my children belong to Grand Cayman.
The opinions expressed by Cayman Crosstalk, its hosts, callers, or guests are not those of Hurley's Media or its sponsors.
Here are your latest news headlines from the Cayman 27 News Team on Rooster 101's Cayman Crosstalk. Now, here's the news. Attempted murder in the BRAC. What's up, everyone? I'm Doug Dodds. Here's today's top stories from the Cayman 27 newsroom. A 29-year-old woman appears in Cayman BRAC court charged with attempted murder and wounding with intent. On Wednesday morning, Rainer Blackwood was remanded into custody in connection with a stabbing on Tuesday morning on Legend Drive in Cayman BRAC. Ms. Blackwood will appear in court on Grand Cayman November the 9th. In other news today, trade and business applications and vehicle licensing renewals have gone online. 2 new e-services headlined Wednesday morning's launch event, where Commerce Ministry officials touted increased efficiency and shared their vision of the e-government of the future. And finally today, government planning to make changes of the stamp duty law to help Cayman first-time buyers get on the property ladder. An amendment to be introduced in the Legislative Assembly's November session seeks a substantial increase in the threshold for stamp duty concessions. The proposed amendment will raise the thresholds on raw land purchases from $100,000 to $150,000 and from $300,000 to $400,000 for apartments, condos, or houses. For raw land purchases between $150,000 and $200,000, first-time buyers will pay a 2% stamp duty. That 2% rate will also apply for built-up properties valued from $400,000 to $500,000. For more news on these stories and others, click on Cayman 27 on KY or watch the news tonight at 6 with a replay at 7. For Hurley's Media, I'm Doug Dodds. Have a great day.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019, or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
Good morning, my lovely, beautiful Cayman Islands, and thank you all very much for tuning in to Cayman Crosstalk. It would be remiss of me not to simply say that to all of you and welcome. Happy Friday to everyone. As my son would say, it's weekend eve, Daddy. It's weekend eve. And I hope that you all have a wonderful weekend. In fact, I'm going to tell you, today we're going to have a great show for you. It is literally jam-packed. It is talking about nuggets. We got a whole pile of little gold nuggets all around the place. We're going to tell you what to do tomorrow and what you can do tomorrow. I'm excited about it as well because if you're tuning in during this week, some wonderful West Bay called in and said they're going to have corn turtle. And so we're going to get more details of that. And joining me in the studios very shortly will be Captain Eugene Ebanks. He's going to be talking about the West Bay Farmers Market and all of what the initiatives of what they're going to be doing. He's going to be joined by some, I believe, his committee members and others that are help organizing the farmers market and what's the necessity of it, why now, all the various different things. Then we're going to transition to the Pirates Week Committee. I'm going to have the head pirate in the studio. I'm not sure if she wants me to call her the head wench or how that works. The head piratess. I don't know what the PC terms are nowadays, but we're going to have Miss Melanie McField in the studios. We're going to be talking about Pirates Week, what to expect, what it's all about, so that all of us can celebrate this wonderful event, 40 plus years and running. And then right after that, we're going to have individuals in the studios from the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, from the DOE, talking about licensing for firearms, primarily air guns. As you all well know, I've been advocating, and I want to sincerely thank the Councillor Captain Eugene as well and his government for allowing the culling and funding the culling to come through. And I've been promoting it for young men primarily, anyone. But there's a lot of young men that were out of work that can actually be capable of doing these things. And I was pleased to hear that a lot of the recipients heard it here on Cayman Crosstalk and got well over 300 individuals that signed up as cullers. And what I would like to do, there was a lot of questions that came through our social media forums, all the various different ones from our Facebook to our email to our WhatsApp primarily, or WhatsApp. It actually, I wouldn't say crashed, but it was pretty jam-packed with questions from a lot of individuals wanting to find out how to obtain a firearms license if they were cullers, simply because there was some that have registered firearm owners that have also registered to be cullers as well. And they wanted to see how they can compete properly. So we're going to have the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service coming in the studios to discuss that. And then we're going to transition, when that's complete, into the Family Resource Center, and we're going to talk about bulletproofing your child. And that is something that's coming up at the Kimpton on Monday as well. We're going to give you all the details on that and how you could bulletproof your child. And all of these things, I think, is going to be little nuggets for many of you here this morning. And remember, we have various different social media forums that you can actually contact us on, send us your thoughts, call into the studios. And the number in the studio is 233-1019. That is 233-1019. Once again, 233-1019. And that is the in-studio number, and that is sponsored by Superior Auto, our wonderful friends at Superior Auto. And I just want to sincerely thank them for being great community partners, not just here sponsoring the show, but just good community partners and good people. I'm not supposed to say this. I say this every time, but it's something that I feel I'm driven to say. I'm not supposed to say it. I'm just supposed to say, well, Superior Auto, and that's about it. Sponsored by Superior Auto. But I am moved because Mark and Denise are some wonderful people. And if you're looking for a place to take your automobile that needs servicing or anything of that nature, well, I can guarantee you if you take it there, you're going to feel that you're going to get some really good servicing, that they're not going to do anything other than what you initially went there for. If they are, they're going to walk you through it, tell you what they found, and the pricing is not going to give you a conniption fit in any way whatsoever. Having said that, then we got the WhatsApp number, which is 324-1019. That is 324-1019, 324-1019. And we also have the email, which is caymancrosstalk@hurleysmedia.ky, caymancrosstalk@hurleysmedia.ky. And we also got our Facebook page, which is Cayman Crosstalk. And we just want you to post immediately below the live streaming video. And once you got the live streaming video, you can post immediately beneath there. Or if you're a little shy and don't want the 4,900 plus people that follow us on a daily basis to see what you're saying, simply just private message me in the background, and I'll keep your ID in strict confidence. And I try to answer every email, every social media post that comes through, because we appreciate you here at Cayman Crosstalk. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm building it up because Restaurant Month ends very, very shortly. Restaurant Month is the month of October, and there's tons of restaurants that are participating, and Restaurant Month ends on the 31st. And what I'm going to build up on Monday, I'm going to be giving away. I'm going to be giving away a ticket, or actually 2 tickets. I decided, and I begged for it, and that's why I was holding off from it. I got 2 gift certificates to the Lobster Pot. It is not just one of the most beautiful, picturesque restaurants in Cayman, but I tell you the truth, it's underpinned by probably one of the best kitchens that it is around as well. And they gave me 2 gift certificates to give away independently. But I'm going to do an Elio this morning, and I'm going to go, you know what? Instead of splitting it up, we're going to make sure that we give it to one individual that can carry a friend. Because I can guarantee you, as my dear friend Tammy reminded me, she was the only one when I asked somebody some time back which old chef used to say, I guarantee it. Well, Mr. Wilson used to say, I guarantee it. I guarantee when you go and take a friend to Lobster Pot, you will have to go back. It is one of those things that if you try once, you just can't not do it again, just for the ambiance, and the food is just going to make you just have to go back. So I'm going to be giving away 2 tickets on Monday, and you got to keep tuned because throughout this time, I'm going to be dropping some questions and so forth. For example, how long has Lobster Pot been in existence? And I wonder if somebody can tell me that. And I'm not giving away no tickets right now this morning. I said it yesterday. I want to see if people are remembering what it is. If 233-1019, 233-1019, if you all remember what it is and know the time and how long they've been around, and I can't get over it. 233-1019. That's going to be one of the questions. How long has Lobster Pot been around? You can actually go and check it out on their website as well. I got people WhatsApping me. Well, yes, the WhatsApp people call too. 233-1019. Don't tell me 45 years, which you're right. 45 years Lobster Pot has been around. My phone is going off. I got about 4 WhatsApp that just came through. 45 years they have been around. So we're going to be giving away some tickets to Lobster Pot next week, Monday, so that you all can take advantage of this, but you have to go before the 31st of October. I'm going to transition right now, and I'm going to move in and got Captain Eugene in the studios with us, along with one of his committee members and one of the organizers that help make things happen. This is Tommy Ebanks, and we're going to hear more about, the farmers market in West Bay and what it means, why now, and I tell you, I'm going to talk more about the menu, and that's going to be coming up as well. But ladies and gentlemen, time check right now is 7:11. Time check is brought to you by our wonderful friends at Subway. Ladies and gentlemen, it is early in the morning, and if you need coffee to help you get percolated and get going, well, Subway has a wonderful coffee station. If you go there right now, and this may be a limited time offer, so I'm just telling you, just forewarning you, just like the 2-for-1 special. If you go to Subway in the morning or any time and get a cup of coffee, they will give you a fresh baked cookie of your choice, absolutely free. I love that. That's my favorite 4-letter word, free. Go to Subway. All 6 locations across Grand Cayman. 2 locations have been open 24/7. One in West Bay, right across from Captain Eugene's office in Centennial Towers. The other one in Central Georgetown at Anderson Square. Subway. Eat fresh. Eat delicious.
This hour of Cayman Crosstalk is powered by Subway. Subway. With 6 locations across Cayman, you know it makes sense to choose Subway. Subway, eat fresh, eat delicious. More of Cayman Crosstalk is next on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
Eclipse Hair Design and Day Spa presents Beautiful You every second and last Thursday of the month. The beauty experts will draw from experience and share tips for personal beauty care, how to have healthy hair and glowing skin, flawless makeup application, and the latest trends and style tips. Watch Cayman 27 every second and last Thursday of the month for Beautiful You. Brought to you by Eclipse Hair Design and Day Spa.
It's fresh. Fresh from the garden, it's fresh.
Hurley's introduces chef kits, the newest, easiest way to serve your family home-cooked meals in about 30 minutes. Every chef kit includes Hurley's fresh beef, chicken, fish, or veg, and pre-measured spices, sauces, oils, and seasonings. We include everything but the dinner plates. Simply follow the enclosed directions to create home-cooked, gourmet-inspired meals for 2 or 4 people. Hurley's chef kits for fresh, easy, speedy meals your family will love.
Watch as global adventurer and filmmaker Marlon Dara journeys across the world's most beautiful countries and cities. You'll explore breathtaking landmarks, art, and architecture from the Caribbean, Europe, Central and South America, and so much more. Immerse yourself in the local culture, history, and beauty as you follow his endless journeys of adventure every weekday, only on Cayman 27.
Good morning. Happy Friday to all of you. I'm joined by 3 very energetic individuals, especially one gentleman that I keep saying that I absolutely adore, and one of the most genuine people that I've met, and one of the right. He's been blessed to be in the right, how would you say, job, and that's James. We know him, and I always know him as Jamo Miles. In addition, I have Captain Eugene Ebanks. And also Mr. Tommy Ebanks, committee member from the West Bay Kodak. And that's just trying to make sure that West Bay moves forward and does a great deal of stuff. In fact, I enjoyed a couple of Kodak meetings I attended with you, Tommy. And congratulations on that as well. And Cappy, I want you to grab that microphone and I'm fortunate to have you back in the studios. And this is the second time I'm having you back, and hopefully I can continue having you back. And like I said, we can have West Bay Matters maybe coming up and talking about some other things as well in the studios. But this morning, we're going to be talking about West Bay Matters, so to speak.
That's correct. That's correct. Yes, we're here this morning to let all of our friends and listeners and neighbors know that we're opening the grand opening of the West Bay Farmers Market tomorrow morning. AgriFest is called.
AgriFest?
Yep. It's going to be a fun day with lots of things for the kids to do. We have face painting and a petting zoo and egg and spoon races and snow cones.
I'm going after you with that one.
And all kinds of good things for the kids to keep busy with. So we really are looking forward to a good turnout, and we're asking all of our West Bayers and Georgetowners and East End and North Side and Bordentowners to come out and support us.
They'll get their passport stamped tomorrow.
and the captain's a JP, so he can sign your passport.
we
need updating.
we can authorize it on the way down.
And if you all don't know, JP is not supposed to charge you for that kind of stuff. So it's all free.
Yeah, it's all free. Absolutely.
And so we're going to be giving away. You know, Tommy, I'll be honest with you. That would be the funniest thing.
A West Bay passport?
You got it. Every time you come to the AgroFest or something of that nature, you'll be given a West Bay passport and have Captain sign it.
I tell you, but remember West Bay's a republic.
That's right.
So we gotta
make it out of sugarcane paper.
Julie, write that down on the agenda.
Sugarcane paper passport. Wrapped by planting trash.
Oh, my God. Well, you know, gentlemen, Tommy, I know that you've been working with the West Bay elected officials and so forth as Kodak. I want you to explain in a nutshell, if you can, to those out there in all districts, but speak to West Bayers in general, because you would like as much people to participate in the Kodak. And I think it's something that brings all the community together. Tell us, what is West Bay Kodak?
West Bay Kodak Committee is an action committee put together to just bring awareness to much in our district that needs to be done, and a lot of things that are happening, and just to improve upon it. This year, we've basically been trying to, one, work along with the West Bay Central Committee to get the farmers market up and going. That has become a reality, and I think it's a great thing for the district, and looking forward to see many people out tomorrow, and a great thing for the farmers and artisans in the district to come out and sell their goods every Saturday morning. Until 1 o'clock. Other projects we do is basically each year we contribute to all of the after-school programs and church programs in the district. So we continue to do that annually. We also have basically been doing some beautifications. We did one around the West Bay Town Hall, or what is now the West Bay Library. A beautification where we actually removed all of the older plants that were there and beautified the area, because that's traditionally where we do a Christmas lights display. And we're hoping this year might not be possible because it's a little immature, but we're going to actually see what we can do to beautify that as well, and work along with the West Bay Central Committee to beautify the West Bay Heritage Park for Christmas. They don't know that yet, but we'll be approaching them to actually do it. And I'm sure we'll get their support, as we've always done.
The bullet's been shot across the bow.
Yeah.
No, you know.
Additionally, we've actually saw West Bay, most public places don't have ample trash cans. So we've actually got 20 that we're painting. And our past president, Ms. Marjorie Banks, was very instrumental in the development of that program. She got trash cans donated, and we'll be placing them, and 2 of them will be at the West Bay Heritage Park.
Sweet.
And we got children from the district and from the district schools painting these 55-gallon drums, which we're going to chain to some post or something on the site to ensure they don't disappear, because we're taking great effort to make them look good.
Well, you know, it sounds, and I think a lot of people don't realize, gentlemen, that this massive mini agriculture show is transpiring tomorrow. Because, ladies and gentlemen, here's just a little quick rundown. And Captain, you correct me where I go wrong, because I know you had your not just your finger, but your foot in this as well. We're starting off at 9 a.m. with opening ceremonies. We're going to have the Honorable Speaker of the House, William McKeever Bush. Then we're going to have the national song, and then we're going to do ribbon cutting, all kind of various different things. And we're going to have a food court. Vendors will be there all day. We heard Gwen Lee. Oh my gosh! You know, I got reserved at least 3 corn turtles. So Tommy, leave that alone. That's mine. And then we got the grounds. We got pony rides by Coral Stone Stables. That's wicked. You know, Faces of Cayman photo competition. Judging that, we got a children zoo. We got a petting zoo. We got face painting, old time Cayman games, and a museum display. And then we got the races for the Beauty Queen. West Bay Beauty Queen? Yeah. What?
Yeah.
What? You know, see, we got the mom over there, and when you know. And then in addition, we got Dream Chasers came in, and we got Swanky. What? You got Swanky Kitchen Band as well?
You got to get a drink too.
What? And, you know, in 1 to 2 p.m., you got the Princess of the Crop and announcement of the photo contest winners. And there's going to be a guest appearance by the beauty queen of the Cayman Islands as well. And we got Pandemics, which is a steel pan that's going to be playing. My gosh. And then 4 o'clock, you're going to have the announcement of the district youth cook-off winners. And I would imagine, James, that you probably played an integral part in that as well, because you've been really organizing some wonderful young talent in the Cayman Islands, taking them overseas, and they have been winning competitions, man.
Yeah, they've been doing us proud. When I heard about AgriFest, I said, cook-off definitely gonna happen there. Because the West Bay cook-off was supposed to happen like in December. But when I heard about this, I'm like, well, no, we got to be at that event. It ties right in to the grand showcase of all the district champions at the agriculture show anyhow. So since this is like a mini agriculture show, they get a real taste of it. They cook off and all down in West Bay tomorrow, God's willing. Everybody should try to make the effort to come out. We'll have at least three teams vying for the district title of West Bay District Champion. That champion will represent West Bay at the nationals at the agriculture show and see if they can be national champions.
Well, I had to ask, to be honest with you. I mean, you know, big events like this, gentlemen, cost money. It takes a lot of money. And sometimes you need to offset that. What should people come with for admission fee?
A smile.
A smile. That's it.
And their passport.
Yeah.
But, you know, to that point, we've actually, along with June Lee, she don't like to be called, but June Lee, on behalf of the West Bay Central Committee, has been instrumental in actually organizing many farmers to come out and encourage backyard farming and farmers just to have a place each Saturday to sell their produce and artisans to come out and sell their arts. So she's been doing an excellent job. We've actually trialed it for the last 2 to 3 months, and we're getting great response. The West Bay community is coming out and supporting it, and now we want to invite the entire island to come out and support it. It's a place where West Bay farmers come out and basically talk to us, the people that don't know how to farm or have forgotten much of what we did learn when we were much younger about backyard farming, and basically it gives you an opportunity to meet with them, hear what they've been doing, and just to let you know that it's all organic. Most of them are not using any major pesticides or insecticides to actually grow their crops. They grow them natural and they put them on the table for you to buy. It's also a great venue for you to meet people who you haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, that's
so
what
it's,
I like.
you know, it builds that community spirit and, you know, utilizes a facility that's been sitting and languishing there for a long time, unused. And now, with the help of the West Bay Central Committee, you know, it gives you a great opportunity to actually anchor that opportunity to come out and put it to good use.
Well, you know, I just want to say to everyone out there, if you're just tuning in now, and if you're from East End and everywhere else, not really been to West Bay in a long time, everyone knows the Ed Bush playing field. And just look for Ed Bush playing field, and it's just right there. It's a beautiful little park right next to adjacent to the parking lot, right in front of the stadium stands. You can't miss it. And once you get there, you got very good parking. And then for all of you as well, we got a gorgeous park right across the street. So parents, if you just want to enjoy even longer as well, come and see and use the park right across the street as well. It's all within just walking distance, and just a great distance as well. And so there's so many things that you can really enjoy in the beautiful district of West Bay. But more importantly, you're going to have, you know, one thing I would like to say, Tommy, and I know Jamo and I have spoken about this before, is come taste the difference. Come taste the difference is we find that when you eat organically, and a lot of people that have been utilizing the farmers market and so forth, that is one common sentiment that everyone expressed, is that the tomatoes are sweeter, the cucumbers, whatever it may be, the plantains. Yeah. And, you know, I'll be honest with you, the premier thinks I don't like him, right? But I tell you the truth, he's a pretty good farmer. He has, at one particular point when he liked me, he gave me a plantain, and the plantain didn't have no seeds in it. I've never had one like that before. It was the sweetest thing I've ever had in my life. Yeah. And I would imagine that you have all of these things down there as well. And I mean, the thing that I'm relishing, and I haven't had it in a long time since a dear friend and a family member of yours as well. Since Louis passed away, every Friday night I would go down and look for my friend Louis. Every Friday night without fail, we would sit, we would talk politics and everything else, and eat jerk chicken and corn turtle. And I haven't had corn turtle since my dear friend Louis passed away. And I understand you're going to have corn turtle and stew turtle there as well. But for those of you that did know the difference, you got to come taste the difference as well.
But excuse me, but speaking of the premier, Woody, premier is also will also be there.
That's right.
To give us an address. So we're very, very excited about tomorrow. We have very much excuse me, very much looking forward to a good turnout and let the kids and the families have a good time, enjoy the day, and we're looking forward to it. We are inviting all from all across the island to come out and join us.
Well, I tell you, if families don't have anything to do, and this is the last weekend right before school goes back into play, and so I would say to all of you parents, come down to West Bay tomorrow. Seriously, you don't know how beautiful West Bay is until you experience it, especially you don't experience it until you hear it and you feel the vibe of West Bay is. There's something, that's where I grew up, and I love it.
And excuse me, but before we forget, there will be music. We will have Swanky Man. Yeah. We'll have a DJ. We'll have lots of entertainment for everybody. So there won't be a dull moment. We promise you.
So you can have music and food.
Absolutely.
There as well.
And the energy will cook off to end things off.
You know, that's pretty cool. And the best part about it is that you don't need no cash to get in.
No.
Just bring your family. And in fact, I would imagine this is one thing I know that the West Bay Kodak was promoting, is that there's much more family unity. Do more things with your kids. Do more things with your children. Show them what community looks like by bringing them all together. And so that would be a great thing to do. Yep. You know, Captain, I know that's one thing dear to you is family.
Yeah, it is.
And so bring everybody. And remember, tomorrow, Saturday, October the 27th, at the West Bay Heritage Park, immediately adjacent to the Ed Bush Stadium. And get this, ladies and gentlemen, admission is absolutely jamma. What is it?
Free.
It's free.
$3.99.
And the gates open at 9 o'clock and it runs till 4 p.m. But if you want some really good food, in fact, I even got cash from people up in here wanting corn turtle. So Gwen, I'm going to come for you. I got another order for corn turtle. And it's going to be entertainment activities, food competitions, and it's going to be just galore. Things, I mean, it's just so much to really list. It's a project of the West Bay Central Community Council, along with supplemented by the Kodak as well. Captain, would you like anything else to say?
Just to say that I want to thank you, Woody, for having us to invite all of the people of the island to come out and join us, and I want to thank all of the hard workers, including the members of Kodak and the West Bay Central Community Council. They have worked tirelessly. I can name, well, of course, June Lee, Brenda, Curtis, Miguel, Denzel, Sophia.
You've been in politics long enough. You shouldn't call names.
Really, exactly. That's what I was about to say. Please. If I missed anybody, I'll never live it down. So
all of you.
We have a real hard-working committee. So I just want to say thank you to them publicly.
And also the many volunteers, Cayman Islands Prison Service, who brought down a work detail to help out, along with Public Works, who came out to help just fix up the place and make sure it looked good. And all the other volunteers that have been giving of their time to actually prepare the site and allow it to be beautiful. Numerous sponsors, and I won't even try to mention them all, but just to say, without them, none of this would be possible, and especially making it free. It's the sponsors who actually allow that to occur.
Well, I won't take this time to thank my sponsors of the National Youth Cook-Off, which is Cayman National, Home Gas Limited, and the Department of Tourism, Miracle Brokers International, and Foster's Food Fair. They've always been partners in the National Youth Cook-Off. That's why every year we can turn out 12 outstanding leaders. Just 1 year through the program, you can see their growth and their development. They stay in the program for 4 years.
Wow.
So they start in high school and they be off to college, like how Brittany Warden is right now making waves in Denver, Johnson and Wales. And I'm very proud of you. I call him a little lioness because when she's ready to roar, the whole nation hears it. Brittany's doing some great stuff. She's settling in Denver right now, and she's trend setting for all the rest in the program as well. We have several students that went off from the program, got their degrees, and come back and then settling in well. And now they're actually giving back to the program with sessions all over the schools and inspiring more young people to get into the culinary arts if that is their passion. So I want to thank all the partners and sponsors of the National Youth Cook-Off, because without that grand showcase, young people might not be able to live out a dream of theirs or to pursue their passions. And I want to thank Ms. Joan Lee and Captain and everybody for allowing us to come and bless West Bay with showcasing the talents of West Bay youth in West Bay. And I want the whole nation to come down and check it out. You'll see them do their thing, and you can see that they'll do it with all the skills that is needed and within the challenge, and also in the challenge of doing it outdoors.
Yeah.
Cooking outdoors is a whole different level of care and attention that needs to be had, and you'll see these young people operate that way as well. So come on down. The cook-off starts at 2 o'clock, but the whole day starts at 9. So go down at 9 o'clock. You probably won't see me till 12 because we have the culinary program at the Ritz-Carlton tomorrow morning, and then after that, you'll see me down there, and God's willing, we'll have a great time. And get your passport stamped because it's better than legal.
You need it.
I'll be honest with you, and I think that would be the coolest thing, Joan Lee. You work on that, a West Bay passport, along with the West Bay Dictionary. I remember a couple of years ago, West Bay Heritage Committee had the West Bay Dictionary, which I got at home. And those are the two prerequisites. Tell me one more time when and where and how much.
Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. until 4 at the West Bay Heritage Site on Birch Hill Road, right by Ed Bush Field. Can't miss it. And absolutely free. And we talked about turtle, but there'll be all of the Caymanian dishes on display. So come on down, and they're doing amazing things that we haven't talked about with turtle. There's 2 other dishes of turtle.
Really?
That will be served.
Jeez, I need to go to ATM.
That's a surprise. So you got to come down
money,
and find out what they are.
You got to bring money, but not to get in, but to enjoy yourself fully. Bring some money.
And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, just recap one more time to Tommy's effect. We're inviting all people from all around the Cayman Islands, no matter if you're new to Cayman or you've been here forever and you're generational, whatever it may be. Come down to AgriFest tomorrow and just bring your whole entire family. Bring your friends if they're visiting as well. It is the last weekend primarily for children right before they go back to school from the midterm break. So it will be a great weekend for all of them. And parents, if you would like a little place for youngsters to play and so forth, there's a gorgeous park right across the street. You can just take the whole entire day for it. And the best part about it is that it's free. And you got the great ambiance. You got the wonderful band, which is Swanky Kitchen Band. You got great, I tell you the truth, West Bay got some of the best DJs. You got Frost and all of those boys. I'm not sure who you got, but I mean, I can name them out. Super C.
Yeah.
I mean, Lord have mercy. I mean, I'm a little biased. And you got more. Oh, really? You got Marvin as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
No way. Well, I mean, she had to pull some strings for that one.
At least one big string. One hard string.
Swing that engine, right, Marvin? All right. Well, I just want to sincerely thank you all, and I'm really excited about this, Captain.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm glad that you came back into the studios, and look forward to having you back again. And I would say to all of you, Godspeed, and look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. And frankly, the whole entire Cayman Islands. I would urge all of you, I'm going to try to post these things up on our Facebook page. If you can share those as well through your social media platforms, get as much, interest out there and bring a friend. You don't have to pay for it. Just come, and I can guarantee you're probably going to thank that friend that they dragged you there as well. And you're probably going to be kicking and screaming, leaving West Bay, because there's nothing like it. West Bay is just quite beautiful and unique, and the people make it that way as well. Gentlemen, have a wonderful weekend. Looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow.
Thank you, Woody. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming up, I'm going to have like I said, I'm not sure what's everything is politically correct now. I'm not sure if the caller, the head pirate, the director of pirate, the head wench, whatever it is, but Miss, she's a West Bay as well. She's going to be coming into the studios. We're going to be talking about Pirates Week right after this as well.
This hour of Cayman Crosstalk is powered by Subway. Subway, with 6 locations across Cayman, it makes sense to choose Subway. Subway, eat fresh, eat delicious. More of Cayman Crosstalk is next on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
Did you know that
sometimes having a middleman is not a bad thing, especially when it comes to insurance? Do you know that when it comes to cost, ease, speed, and peace of mind, insurance brokers ranked higher than when customers buy direct? So, for all your insurance needs, call Fidelity Insurance. We're the middleman you want. Call us today at 949-7822. Fidelity. We're good for you.
Some say the time of miracles is past, but we see miracles all around us, every day. Some could not walk. Some could not breathe. Some had lost all hope. But something amazing happened. Something that can't be analyzed or quantified. Something that is more than good medicine. Holy Cross.
Dynafroze, Dragon's Revenge. One day, 4 boys from the future traveled back millions of years through time.
Once upon a time, deep under the sea, there lived a kind and clever little turtle named Tula.
Citizens of Lotus Valley, the hour is upon us. Our way of life is being dramatically threatened. You, the Alliance, are the last hope of freedom and the time.
It's a beautiful planet, and right now you can see it right here on Cayman 27. In this series, we'll travel to some of the most fascinating places as we explore the UNESCO heritage sites found around the world. From Stonehenge to the Grand Canyon, there are thousands of sites that will leave you in awe. Beautiful Planet is a series that will take a closer look into these wonders of the world. Join us to witness this beautiful planet.
On Wednesday morning, Rainer Blackwood was remanded into custody in connection with a stabbing on Tuesday morning on Legend Drive in Cayman Brac. Miss Blackwood will appear in court on Grand Cayman November the 9th. In other news today, trade and business applications and vehicle licensing renewals have gone online. 2 new e-services headlined Wednesday morning's launch event, where Commerce Ministry officials touted increased efficiency and shared their vision of the e-government of the future. And finally today, government planning to make changes of the stamp duty law to help Cayman first-time buyers get on the property ladder. An amendment to be introduced in the Legislative Assembly's November session seeks a substantial increase in the threshold for stamp duty concessions. The proposed amendment will raise the thresholds on raw land purchases from $100,000 to $150,000 and from $300,000 to $400,000 for apartments, condos, or houses. For raw land purchases between $150,000 and $200,000, first-time buyers will pay a 2% stamp duty. That 2% rate will also apply for built-up properties valued from $400,000 to $500,000. For more news on these stories and others, click on Cayman 27.ky or watch the news tonight at 6 with a replay at 7. For Hurley's Media, I'm Doug Dodds. Have a great day.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019, or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and before I get into talk with the head wench, I got to read something for all of you right now. It says, looking for a reason to smile? Well, if you turn on your camera, you'll see Mel, and you can't help but smile at this lady. But nevertheless, what about 5,000 reasons to, along with her face? Every week for 5 weeks, we will choose one Esso Fuels customer and give them $5,000 in cash. Yes, hard cold cash. All you simply need to do is spend $25 in fuel at any Esso service station and enter for a chance to win $5,000 in cash. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you could be smiling all the way to the bank, and because it's less than $5,000, they're not going to ask you where you got it from. But nevertheless, go to enter to win. I am joined right now with the chief pirate, Miss McFeel is, honestly, I just want to say, I adore you, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what you've been doing, and I want to hear more about Pirates Week. I mean, last year, you kind of went through this transition, and you kind of, a lot of people didn't like it, and usually change no one likes.
They don't.
And talk to us about Pirates Week, because it is building, it is 40 plus years of energy in a time that really a lot of people may have forgotten about it, but it was a ghost town in Cayman.
Very true.
And that's why it was created. And, individuals like, my Uncle Cardinal, the late Jim Bodden, and all those ones said, you know what, we need to bring something like Gasparilla to Cayman. And that's for those that were asking, because people were asking me a few weeks, well, how did it create? Was it because we had pirates here and so forth? It was just great marketing minds that say, you know what, we need to capitalize. We're an island nation. Let's just feed on that kind of thought process of what tourists would like.
I'm sorry. I'm glad you mentioned the marketing aspect, because the word pirates in Pirates Week is exactly that. It's a marketing hook. Clearly, we don't celebrate piracy. We celebrate none of the elements of what pirates represented back in the day. But it's a great way to attract tourists to come here, and people love dressing up. What are some of the pirates that come for Pirates Week? Not only do this during Pirates Week, they go to pirate festivals around the world. They're committed to what they do.
It's 24/7.
24/7.
This is a lifestyle.
Yes, it really is. It really is a lifestyle, and they're very community oriented individuals and CEOs. They pay registration fees to be a part of a pirate crew that are $10,000.
Wow.
Annually.
Wow.
So, yes, exactly. So
a pirate crew?
A pirate crew.
I got to check that one out, Christopher.
There's over 8,000 pirates registered in Tampa, Florida.
Really?
Yes. And a lot of them come down for Pirates Week. So
what?
Yes, exactly. So it's not a joke. They're very serious about what they do.
Wow.
And again, they love the characterization of dressing up and being a pirate. So Pirates Week is really a marketing hook, and it's the best, not the best way, but is one of the ways we've chosen to get people here. It works well,
sure,
and it gives us an opportunity to show people who we really are. What the Cayman Islands has to offer.
No, I agree. I mean, for anyone to think anything different than that, sometimes it's a little stretch for me. It's just a fun time, and just to bring people to the shores. And I can tell you, I remember growing up and working at my father's restaurant. We were like one of the only ones that were open.
I could have one of those milkshakes right now.
It soon come.
Yeah.
And it was just dead everywhere. And even still, we have a lot of restaurants still closed down in September, October. And when you just look at just bringing people here to make sure that money was flowing within the community, that hasn't changed. It's still very much seasonal.
And just to give you some stats, we got the incoming data as far as flights are concerned from the 1st to the 12th of November last year. And we had over 11,000 visitors coming in to Cayman.
Wow.
Now, would I say they're uniquely visiting because of Pirates Week? I would love to say that.
Right.
But we don't have that actual information. But I'm sure it plays a big factor in why we get those sorts of numbers. So Pirates Week does attract. It attracts a lot of people, and
if I know my time is limited, so I just want to get through our very, very long schedule.
Sure. Well, when we come back, the chief pirate is going to go through the whole entire schedule. And it's still a week, still Pirates Week. Yes. And there's a lot of things to do, ladies and gentlemen. And time check right now is 7:48. Time check is brought to you by our wonderful friends at Subway. I'm not sure if you know this about this, Mel, but if you drink coffee in the mornings, usually people buy a little pastry to go along with it. But here's what Subway will do for you. You go into any of the 6 locations of Subway, and you get a cup of coffee in their coffee station in the corner. They will give you a free cookie of your choice along with that cup of coffee.
I could eat an oatmeal cookie right now.
Oh, my gosh, woman, stop
Yeah.
it. You're teasing me this morning.
They really make the best. They really make the best oatmeal cookies.
You see that Subway is unsolicited right there. And the chief pirate even endorses the oatmeal cookie. And it's free, ladies and gentlemen. And this may be a limited time, so go by quickly. 6 locations of Subway. Get a cup of coffee. And they will say choose from their great rack of cookies, and they will give you one absolutely free. And there is 2 stores that have opened 24/7. One in West Bay, Mel, from our district, down in Centennial Towers. And the other one in Central Georgetown, where Pirates Week is going to be, in Anderson Square. Subway. Eat fresh. Eat delicious.
This hour of Cayman Crosstalk is powered by Subway. Subway. With 6 locations across Cayman, you know it makes sense to choose Subway. Subway. Eat fresh. Eat delicious. More of Cayman Crosstalk is next on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
Here we go, baby. Work with me. Oh, well, okay. Okay. On.
Hey, would you like your keys in your car?
No, I have a shirt in the back. I'm trying to get on the hanger without opening the door.
Sorry. Trying to help out.
Moron.
We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor at Paramount. Carpet, any style, carpet or tile, insulation and drywall too. Everything's beautiful, come and see. The Paramount name means quality. It'll be a brand new world under your feet. We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor at Paramount. Carpet.
Where's your mommy?
At the gym. You know it's her birthday, right?
Come, let's go quick.
At Countryside, we have everything you need. Stay in shape at Universal Fitness Gym. Get your natural products at Hero Fair. Drop off your dry cleaning at Puritan Cleaners. Check out the latest phones at Flow. Pick up your supplements at G&C. And browse the best wine selection at Jake Scott. Countryside, everything you need and more.
Ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for tuning in. And I want to sincerely thank my wonderful friends over at the National Weather Service for providing our weather for today, because this is going to build up, and hopefully this kind of weather we're going to have for Pirates Week as well. It's going to have a high today of 84 with the real fuel temperature about 96 degrees, and you're going to have wonderful times of sun and clouds. Yes, that's what I have on there, and that will equal pleasant. That is actually literally on my computer screen. If Leroy zeroes in, he will see that there as well. Winds are going to be coming at you softly from the north at only 4 miles per hour. That's going to translate to 0 to 2 foot sea height, so it should be a beautiful day in the waters for everybody. Winds are going to come at you at that same soft speed as you did before, but believe it or not, your surface temperatures will drop down to 79 degrees tonight with the real fuel temperature. When you go out and celebrate, you're going to celebrate and you feel like it's only 86 degrees. No real possibility of experiencing too much rain tonight. If it is, it's going to be extremely brief in passing, but it's going to be partially cloudy. Your sunrise this morning was at 6:24. Your sunset will be at 5:55. Therefore, you got 11 hours and 31 minutes of beautiful sunshine to enjoy, and you got a similar weather forecast pattern straight through until Sunday afternoon. And Monday, it looking like the same thing as well. There's no real weather systems all around us. So enjoy this gorgeous weekend. And you know what? I'll be remiss of me not to say, consider Agrafest down at Ed Bush Playing Field. We're going to be talking with the Chief Pirate about Pirates Week.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019, or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for tuning in and letting it be part of your morning, part of your day. I had the Chief Pirate in the studios with us this morning, and that is a title that's not worn lightly and used lightly as well. And, you know, Miss Melanie McField, and she's actually joined by the Prez. He likes when I call him that, but his mama likes when I call him Sean Eric. Notch.
Good morning.
Of the Cayman Islands Music and Entertainers Association. And it's a great platform this year as well. Melanie, tell us about the rundown, the agenda for Pirates Week.
We have, I'll just give you the dates quickly. For Cayman Brac, it's the 2nd to the 4th. So Cayman Brac kicks off next weekend.
What?
Yes, next Friday.
Go there.
And then Grand Cayman from the 8th until the 12th. And then we move to Little Cayman, and that's where we finalize the festival celebrations from the 16th to the 18th. However, we do have the district committees who have chosen to bring back their individual district days. So they're run from the 2nd of November to the 8th of November.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good.
Starting with East End.
Really?
Yeah. East End on Friday the 2nd. And then we move to Monday the 5th, which is West Bay. Tuesday is North Side. Wednesday is Bordentown. And Georgetown is the 8th. So Georgetown's district day is a perfect segue to the downtown celebrations, the official downtown celebrations, which is the 8th through the 12th.
So party with tempo. So party with bass.
Big celebration all over the place.
And the whole island pulsating.
Don't ask me to join in, please. But that now is the perfect segue to one of the events we want to discuss. And it's the return of the National Song Competition.
Yes.
And that is something I must say Notch has been very passionate about bringing back. He's been in my ear forever and a day.
Years.
Yes. Like a very annoying bug.
Yeah. I know.
But you know what? So it's here, and we have over $10,000 in cash prizes. Starting with first prize, $5,000.
Wow.
Second, $3,000, and third, $2,000.
Wow.
And I just want to say a big thank you to the CMEA, the Tourism Attraction Board, and the Ministry of Culture, who have come on board to sponsor this event. It's a great way to, connect or reconnect, I should say, Pirates Week with music.
Yeah.
And I'll let Notch speak more to that because I know he's itching to speak. So take over.
I'm our guest. Yeah. National Song Competition is back. This is one of the staples of the Cayman entertainment calendar in the past, and we're hoping that it will come back as the key cornerstone to the annual entertainment calendar. As a component of Pirates Week, it's definitely it's a perfect fit. It's that Cinderella slipper. Everything goes together. Songwriting. It's just a good avenue for Caymanians to actually interact and get involved with Pirates Week. And it traditionally used to build the community spirit, and we're hoping that comes back. So it's not just the element of songwriting, but what will happen is that people will come out and support the people from their perspective, your communities, who they know are participating, and that's important, There used to be a tourism element to a lot of the songs that were written. Some of them were just written around the myth of the pirate folklore, pieces of eight, you know. But definitely, what we're looking for this year is just the criteria for now needs to be specific to the Caribbean area. So it needs to be a song that's written in any regional genre. So once it's reggae, calypso, soca, mento, merengue, punta, reggaeton, dancehall. I mentioned reggae right here. You know, so basically it's that full gamut, and that gives the songwriters and the artists a lot of creative, leeway to actually come up with something. You know, a nice hook, a nice melody, and you got it. You could be the winner of $5,000, and I know that would go far for a lot of you guys that are investing in your music careers. I know that the $5,000 would just be a good thing to do anyway. Plus, it's good exposure. If you aren't an artist yet, or you aren't a recognized artist yet, now is your time to get on the national stage and show your stuff, you know?
And not only the national stage for Pirates Week, but as the winner, you also get on the main stage for Kaboo.
What? Yeah. I remember we talked about that as well. Yeah,
that's like Subway Madness 2 for 1.
Yeah,
you
know got it.
I'm telling you, like
it's a limited time. You gotta hurry and do it.
You can't. No, honestly, we've been negotiating with Pirates Week a long time on this, and this just came up. Actually, this year everything has just come into place, and I just want to say thanks to the director of Pirates Week for her cooperation. And it's always a pleasure to work with the TAB. They're trying their best to keep the tourism attractions alive in the Cayman Islands. And attractions have grown. It's no longer just the landmark monumental buildings, but it's things like this.
Culture.
Culture. And I was actually thinking on the way up how I heard you mention Jim Borden and your uncle and them. And I wanted to give a big shout out to Mr. Mike Lockwood, because definitely those guys were before their time. They were the visionaries, and they were the geniuses that really came up with the whole plan. And it's amazing. Pirates Week is something I think that brings the community together. And as my colleague over here was saying just now, Miss Melch, definitely it brings the people into the country, and it puts the Cayman Islands on the world map in a positive light. Even though I know a lot of people locally say, oh, we're not celebrating no pirates. No, we're not celebrating pirates. There's just an opportunity for us to highlight our heritage. And Pirates Week is just a marketing ploy. It's something that we use to draw the people that spend the money to come to our country to actually engage them in what we are about. Exactly. And that's so important, you know? So I don't want to take up too much of the time, because I know that Pirates Week has a really complete agenda. I know time is limited, but I just want to say the Music and Entertainment Association is looking forward for this to become an annual event, as it used to be traditionally. And we're just pleased that Pirates Week is you're willing and able to take it back on, because that's something that's important. We don't have the manpower, the resources to really coordinate and manage and market an event like this. So something of this magnitude, it's a national song competition. It's a big deal, and it should be a big deal, especially because, like I said, it was a huge component of our heritage. It's something that's, what was it, over 40 years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, the songs are the songs are timeless. If you go back and listen to some of the old catalog, and I know I'll be on next week, you and I on First Friday, so hopefully I'll get some time to talk about the other things that the CMEA has on the agenda, as I usually do. And this will obviously be one of those I'll be calling out again for Pirates Week. Tell people it's closing up on the deadline.
The 30th of October, and you can download.
That's just Tuesday.
You can download the. We've I think we have about around 8 registrants already. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Wow.
So if you're interested, there's still some time. I think 5,000 is a really good incentive.
Jeez.
Kaboo's, an additional incentive.
Exactly, and that's going to be televised, and that's going to be pushed by their marketing company globally as well to show what Kaboo is all about. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Kaboo is not just for Cayman, This is around the whole entire North America, primarily America. This is done in various different regions.
Yes.
And so as part of their marketing campaign behind it all, they will be utilizing you in their marketing campaign. So you never know. Someone will see you in this big worldwide web.
International franchise now,
there.
Babu. It's
Exactly.
like it's like Subway. It's like anything else.
Exactly.
You know, these guys, which brings me, I just want to say really quick, that's what I was talking about, attractions, because they realize that music festivals. And I was thinking on my way coming up, you know, why is it that Jim Borden and your uncle and Mike Lockwood them didn't think about doing a carnival? Because carnival was already done all over the Caribbean. They were looking something
different,
special, something different. And Cayman, they came up with something that actually is just for us.
And not just for us, but it's the only festival of its kind in the entire Caribbean region.
Well, be careful. Banaka coming down on your hard. They got a conch festival, you know. We got to go and take a little break right now. I'll tell you the truth. I've been to their conch festival. I love it. It's the last weekend of August, and I love it. Honestly, they take a lot of stuff from us. In fact, they told me that. And it feels like when you walk there, guys, I'm not sure if you've ever been to Banaka, right? Guanaja, and then Banaka's a little key off of it. But you feel like you're in West Bay. No joke. It sound like us.
I've heard that, actually.
Look like us.
I've heard that.
And it tastes like us.
But you know, we go to Honduras with our pirates every year as well.
You really?
Yeah, for something like 13, 15 years now.
Well, I didn't know what.
There you go.
First week of the world tour. And it's talking about West Bay. It seems like it's a West Bay morning.
It is.
I'm a West Bay.
It's gonna be a West Bay
That's a West Bay.
weekend. Gonna be a
You're
West Bay weekend.
It's a West Bay weekend. So it's West Side.
And we're going to play just a little song right before I got to take this little break right now and come back with the Chief Pirate. And she's going to give us a rundown as well. And we're going to try to appeal to all of you wonderful musicians out there. In fact, I got one young man right here that is an excellent one. And maybe he can pull his friends as well to do something as well.
Go for the money.
Here's something that keeps me pumping. This is one of my favorite songs.
Are already made. We're set to fet. So run and tell your friends and family.
Ready, go.
Put on some clothes, come and join the party.
It's a party with you. It's a party with
Give it up.
It's a big celebration all over the place.
Sing it up.
And the whole island pulsating. And the women dance.
Watch them, y'all.
And the children prance. We got the Chief Pirate singing. Come out to see.
It's Pirate Speak, y'all.
And the whole island.
Ho, 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 and a bottle of rum.
Aye. That's one of my favorite all-time songs ever.
The opinions expressed by Cayman Crosstalk, its hosts, callers, or guests are not those of Hurley's Media or its sponsors.
Now, from the Cayman 27 News Team, here are your latest news headlines. Brought to you by the Cayman Pharmacy Group with West Bay Pharmacy, Savannah Pharmacy, and Professional Pharmacy. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. Visit them today. Now, here's your news headlines. Attempted murder in the Brack. What's up, everyone? I'm Doug Dodds. Here's today's top stories from the Cayman 27 newsroom. A 29-year-old woman appears in Cayman Brack court charged with attempted murder and wounding with intent. On Wednesday morning, Rainer Blackwood was remanded into custody in connection with a stabbing on Tuesday morning on Legend Drive in Cayman Brack. This Blackwood will appear in court on Grand Cayman November the 9th. In other news today, trade and business applications and vehicle licensing renewals have gone online. 2 new e-services headlined Wednesday morning's launch event, where Commerce Ministry officials touted increased efficiency and shared their vision of the e-government of the future. And finally today, government planning to make changes of the stamp duty law to help Cayman first-time buyers get on the property ladder. An amendment to be introduced in the Legislative Assembly's November session seeks a substantial increase in the threshold for stamp duty concessions. The proposed amendment will raise the thresholds on raw land purchases from $100,000 to $150,000 and from $300,000 to $400,000 for apartments, condos, or houses. For raw land purchases between $150,000 and $200,000, first-time buyers will pay a 2% stamp duty. That 2% rate will also apply for built-up properties valued from $400,000 to $500,000. For more news on these stories and others, click on Cayman27.ky or watch the news tonight at 6 with a replay at 7. For Hurley's Media, I'm Doug Dodds. Have a great day.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019. or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, happy Friday to all of you. And thank you all very much. It would be remiss in me not to sincerely thank all of you for tuning in on TV, on streaming, everything that you tune in with. We have the Chief Pirate with us. In addition, we have the president of the Cayman Islands Music and Entertainers Association as well, Notch, in the studios. And the Chief Pirate is about to give us a rundown as well. In fact, Chief Pirate, just want to let you know I got about 9 little WhatsApp saying the district days are back on.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess a lot of people didn't realize that as well, too. So
we're going to start the marketing for that next Monday or Tuesday. So we're going to be pushing that hard. So the festival assists with the marketing and the promotions of the district days.
Wonderful.
The festival office, I should say, but the committees are fully responsible for the carrying out of that event itself.
Okay.
And if anyone wants to get in touch with the specific committee members, they can contact us because they really need help.
Yeah.
And just offer your time if you have the time available, not just for the district day, but to also help them with their float. Yeah.
That's right.
You remember back in the day, Woody, the community came together.
We all did.
Exactly.
I remember specifically down, and my father didn't like taking part in all of those things, but because it was a community effort, and I even remember one year using one of our little boats down right where the primary school is, the clinic is there, and it was that vacant house, that vacant lot, and the whole entire float would be put up there.
That's where Westby used to set up their float.
Exactly.
I remember
and
that.
I just remember those days and everybody just participating and just making sure that it was a community effort.
Exactly.
And so everybody come out, just don't look at one and say, well, Notch can do it or Mel can do it.
And it's important to keep those things alive, And that's the thing about Cayman, like with all the transition and all the things that we kind of take on, we must always remember to not like our skin. We must always remember to not shed our skin, Like we must keep our skin, like that's who we are. That's what makes us.
Well, that's what makes a community strong.
Exactly.
It's just coming together during those times when it's not really an emergency. It seems like you got to have a catastrophe for us to come together.
Which is sad. It's either a wedding, a funeral, or a catastrophe.
Yep. And let's just come out and just really celebrate. If you're living a different, for example, let's just say West Bayers now have moved to Bordentown, because a lot of us have moved to Bordentown area. Find the committee there and check it out, or go back home. Get your passport. The GJP, the Captain Eugene said he wouldn't charge you for the West Bay passport. Come back and do it. But seriously, just make it a big event.
It is because what people fail to realize, the floats in the float parade for Pirates Week, they're not put on by the festival.
Yeah.
They're by the community. So when you don't see what you're expecting, look at yourself, because if you didn't take part, if you didn't provide any form of assistance, there's really no room for criticism.
Yeah.
So it's really a community effort, and I highly encourage everyone to get as involved. You can get involved from a corporate standpoint as well. It's one of the best ways to market an existing or a new company that's coming out. I know ACE is doing that. ACE has been in existence for a while, but they've rebranded, I believe, and they've opened a huge,
beautiful shop.
And they're doing exactly that because they know the value, they know the audience, they know the numbers that are going to be at the Pirates Week.
Parker likes to dance.
I know, and I love dancing with him.
Parker is one of the most fun individuals in the world. Parker likes to dance. That's all it really came down to. Let me just have a big party.
That's so true. So true. So really quick, we spoke about the dates. Kicking off with Cayman Brac. La Esperanza is hosting the happy hour and the official kickoff party on Friday, November 2nd. The Heritage Day, which Rochelle Dilbert is trying her very best to put together. And I just want to encourage the Cayman Brac community to assist with that event. We still need vendors. We still need food vendors, I should say, to come out and support the Cayman Brac Heritage Day. The float parade, I think we have maybe 2 floats for the Cayman Brac float parade. It's usually a small parade, but it's always high in spirit.
Festive.
So, yes, very festive. And that is also on the Saturday. Our schedule is on our website, so you can find all of this information on the piratesfestival.com site. And on Sunday, we end with the Pirates Farewell Lunch, and that is the schedule of events for Cayman Brac. Now, for Grand Cayman, lots going on. So we start out with the Thursday at Royal Palms with the happy hour and the official kickoff. And then on Friday, we move to the 5K. So Pirates Week has something for everybody. If you're a sports enthusiast, there's about 4 or 5 sporting events that you can get involved in during Pirates Week. Wow. And during the Friday, of course, we have our food festival, food, fireworks. And we also have the waterfront sound invasion, and that's hosted by Monster Media. We have Yes, that's it. That's it for Friday. We end with the street dance on Friday. Saturday, we have the 5K sea swim. So if you notice a trend here, we start it with a sporting event each day.
Get all the energy up.
All the energy up. And Saturday is a jam-packed day. We have the 5K sea swim. We have our Pirates Against Plastic public beach cleanup. And when I return to speak more about Pirates Week, I'll talk more about that initiative, which is a very important initiative. Pirates Week has started during this festival period. We also have our Pirate Pooch Parade. So for all of your furry friends, bring them out and dress them up like pirates. Pirates Week's gift shop has
the Shih Tzus all together.
Yes,
now?
yes. I wish I could bring mine, but she has no behavior. There's the Pirates Week cardboard regatta. I think we have about 10 vessels registered for this alone.
Excellent. Wonderful.
So, and we've introduced a junior category this year. So kids 12 to 16 can also participate.
Nice.
And they're cash prizes. So there's over $3,500 in cash prizes.
Really?
Yes.
It's going to be a good Christmas.
Yes.
Wow. True.
Yes.
Truly.
The food festival again on Saturday, our pre-landing entertainment, which is followed by the landing and the float parade. And we have 2 pirate ships this year for the landing. So for any persons that are concerned, aren't sure if the landing was going to take place, it was always taking place, and it was always going to be the Big Island schooner and Blue Sky Sailing's vessel. Okay. Those are always the 2 ships that were going to be participating this year.
All right.
And so we're good with the pirate vessels. And we also have a teen up street dance on Saturday. And Saturday is the day for the national song competition. And then we end with the waterfront sound invasion. And we also have on Saturday, we also have the district ambassadors costume competition. So really looking forward to that. Sunday, to Hell and Back, 10K, another sporting event. And we have the turtle release. We're doing the turtle release again this year. We're bringing that back with the Cayman Turtle Center, the Children's Fun Day, and we've also brought back the underwater treasure hunt, and that's going to be at Sunset House. And something that's more geared towards the adults, Soaked Wet Fet. That's happening at 12:01 on Monday, 12:01 a.m. I should say. And then Monday, we have the public holiday, actually. We have another beach cleanup through our Pirates Against Plastic initiative. But that's a volunteerism cleanup program, and I'll speak about that more next week. And then Culture Shop. Now, Culture Shop is something that's new to the festival this year. Sorry. It's similar to what we did last year for the Combined District Day, but we're not calling it a Combined District Day. We're calling it Culture Shop. But it is the combination of all vendors throughout the islands. And it is everything Caymanian. Demonstrations, rope demonstrations, thatch, baskets, hats, you name it, arts and crafts. We're going to have, obviously, our food there. Jama was here earlier. Yep. We're having the junior snapper cook-off.
Nice.
So lots of food. We're having the culture jam, local talent contest as well. That's also giving young Caymanians an opportunity, not just young Caymanians, but anyone from 5 from ages 5 and up.
5 and up?
Yes.
Whoa.
5 and up.
That's cool.
So,
We're unafraid.
and you can win $2,000. You can, what was that? You can win $2,000. Win $2,000 for that competition. Correct.
What?
Good sponsors.
Yes, great sponsors. TAB has really, come on board big time this year. Illumination Night Parade, and that is where all of the floats from the day parade light up. So we're lighting up the streets.
Nice. So the floats aren't just going to go back off like how they used to? Or?
On Saturday, but they come back on Monday.
What?
Yes. So you'll see them from a completely different perspective.
Nice. I like that.
We're going to have fire eaters.
Whoa.
We're going to have LED lights, people lit up.
Techno-pirates.
Yes, techno-pirates. You need to come out, Woody. There's, like I said, it's so much.
You know I'm always there at night. I always take a picture of you.
Of me. Oh, gosh. And you know how to get the worst of me. So we end with the fireworks.
Drunk and disorderly.
Never.
Whatever.
Fireworks. We end with the fireworks. I shouldn't say we end with the fireworks. After the night parade, we immediately go into the fireworks, and then we go into our street dance finale. And we have international artists and local artists that night. And during the day for Culture Shop, we have the folk singers. We have Dream Chasers. All things local. It's really a day to come out and enjoy.
It's a staycation weekend.
Yes.
Don't leave your country. Stay here and enjoy.
Stay right here.
What's going down?
I'm looking forward to it.
And that's free. That's free. That's free admissions. I think Friday night is the only paid admission for this year's festival, and that's for the Waterfront Sound Invasion. And you can get those tickets from Eventpro.
Excellent. I can't wait for you to come back, Chief Pirate. And I just want to remind everyone, the district schedule starts off at East End Friday, November the 2nd. West Bay will be Monday, November the 5th. North Side will be Thursday, November the 6th. Bordentown will be Wednesday, November the 7th. And Georgetown, the big boy, all of it is going to be banging off, really, on Thursday, November the 8th. And it's going to be a big party. And I just want to sincerely thank all of you coming in. And like the Chief Pirate said, to all you musicians out there, Christopher, I'm talking to you right now. I'm literally looking at you and talking to you.
Yeah,
call all your young friends and everyone around. $5,000 is up for grabs. $5,000 with the possibility of being on a massive stage with some real big headliners. And
be a part of tradition.
Yeah.
Be a part of tradition. That's why I'm so persistent about it. Not annoying. Persistent.
Call it what you want.
Good.
One man meets another man's poison. And then coming right up, we're going to have the Royal Criminal Police Service coming in. And speaking of pirates and guns, if you want a gun, we're going to tell you how you can actually get licensed with that gun.
Guns for Pirates Week.
Right up and they're going to make you shoot within 40 yards of the street. After that, we'll be right back after this short message.
More of Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and live on Cayman 27 is next.
Burger King's epic 2 for $6 deal.
From happy beginnings and life choices that we make along the way,
Brit K protects your lifestyle with the best insurance cover at the best possible price.
Health insurance with far-reaching benefits.
Family protection and long-term financial plans.
Business insurance and generous employee benefits.
For happy beginnings to happy ever after, visit BritK.ky.
Brit K, where people come first.
I just need to know, whose side are you on?
This part's where the experiment really begins.
This ain't no place for no hero. This ain't no place for no better man. This ain't no place for no hero. Come home. They're coming. This ain't no place for no hero.
A timely response. That matters. Owning your own home. That matters. Supporting our community. That matters. When your child smiles, that matters. Good encounters, great experiences. It matters at Cayman National.
Eclipse Hair Design and Day Spa. Discover the difference.
Or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for tuning in and letting us be part of your morning and part of your day. I see Superintendent Seals didn't bring his handcuffs, so I'm okay this morning. He'll just probably call reinforcement as well, but it was kind of funny. He walked in. I heard your comment about getting guns. Jackie, welcome back to the studio.
Good morning.
I missed you, to be honest with you, Jack. I did.
Yeah, I missed you too. We're back. We're back to have a little chat about the DOE's Iguana Cull project, and we're always here with the most pertinent current issues for you, Woody.
Absolutely,
always.
And the thing with it is, we had and I pass it on to you as well. We had a lot of people that are quite interested. In fact, when Fred was here last Monday, I believe it was, we had a lot of people contact us and want to find out about the culling. And I'm kind of excited to hear that a lot of them heard through here as well. But the questions that subsequent came through was that, well, what about culling with an air rifle or something of that nature? And how do we obtain this? And can we, if we're a culler, could we participate or have a licensed firearm as well? And so I said, you know what, the best thing to do is to let her handle it and bring all of the parties together, which I want to sincerely thank you, Jackie, for
my pleasure
for allowing, because it's a big topic that a lot of people are talking about out there. And sometimes it's a concern. Sometimes people think it's not a big deal, but we want to make sure that we highlight what it is and that it is not just an easy process going through all of this. You need to still go through the paperwork. In fact, your website, I keep referring people to your website. It's well put together.
You.
In fact, I got a long epistle that she wrote the other day. She must be writing her thesis for her master's degree.
Man. 2 days living inside of iguana culling, man.
I was reading that. I'm like, girl, what you were trying to do is look like one of my papers I submitted for my weekly assignment.
Trying to make it as clear as mud,
Yeah, exactly. And you brought with you, I want you to introduce your whole entire team this morning. And we have really two gentlemen that's no strangers really to the Crosstalk Studios, but there's a new one I would like to introduce you to me, to be honest with you.
Sure. Okay, well, first of all, we have Frederick Burton here from the Department of Environment, head of the Terrestrial Resources Unit. Okay. Oh. Superintendent Seals, who has oversight for the Security and Firearms Licensing Unit at the RCIPS, and also Colin Price. Colin, I forgot your rank. I'm so sorry.
SBC.
Okay, all right. Senior Police Constable Colin Price, who works in the Security and Firearms Licensing Unit. And then there's me, who's just Woody's friend.
And I'm glad that you are. Fred, I just want to sincerely thank you for coming in again, to be honest with you. And I'm excited about this, to be honest with you.
Because too, Woody. I'm too. It's been an extraordinary week. We had registering colors.
I understand it's well over 360. Thereabouts.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's around about 350 actual registered colors. But I think what we need to understand is, of those registered colors, some of them are representing groups. Some of them are registering on behalf of entire companies.
Yeah, so
in terms of people out there culling directly under registrations, we're probably somewhere between 400 and 500 people. And then there are probably a bunch of free agents out there who are speculatively getting iguanas to sell onto registered colors and that kind of thing. So it's a major operation, and it's reaching out into all sectors of the community.
Right. And the thing with it is, I'm glad to hear, Superintendent Seals, that we got a lot of young men. I know, to be honest with you, at least about 60 odd that have registered. And I'm glad to see that they've registered because, to be honest with you, if you're not working, you're going to find something else to do. I'm not saying that all of them are that way, but I'm just saying there was an old saying when I grew up, devil finds work for idle hands.
Yes.
And if we can make sure that some of these young men are out there and can earn the bare minimum of bringing in 400 iguanas a month and about $2,000, to me, I think that's a great thing. And I'm really excited about it. You don't know how excited I am. I've been, kind of trying to open it up that everybody will have an opportunity to this. And I'm glad that you're here this morning, Superintendent Seals. Could you go through, if you don't mind, if you're a registered color, that does not necessarily give you, for example, I wouldn't say get out of free jail card, but it doesn't give you 2 steps ahead of anyone else. You still need to go through the whole entire process of applying for a firearms license.
Yes, that's correct. Before I get into the actual presentation, I want to say this is really my first time to your new studio.
Yes, you were to the last cell. You were in the cell with me last time.
Yeah, it's really a good facility. It's really a good facility. And the RCIPS, we are more than happy to assist the DOE in this iguana cull. Getting back to your question, even if you're a registered color with the DOE, it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be culling with a firearm. And we're talking about air rifles, just air rifles.
Yeah, not cartridge rifles or anything of that nature.
Air rifles.
Yes.
What Fred referred to, there are other means of catching the iguanas, and I've seen persons with snares, and they're quite efficient at it, way beyond my skill set to really, catch an iguana. But if you apply for an air rifle, for example, you will still need, or the applicant would still need to go through the usual steps. We still do our background checks, and you need to satisfy in all the protocols. For example, if you have land big enough, because the firearms law, it prohibits persons from firing within 40 yards of a highway or firing within residential areas, et cetera, et cetera.
Except under Section 18 when you're protecting yourself or a person. But go on. I can go into that.
Yes.
Here we go.
Yeah.
What he's going to start quoting the law.
There are a number of things. But even if you satisfy those requirements, then to do the iguana culling, we issue what we refer to as a special license. Again, this is covered under the firearms law, and this was actually done by cabinet as well, who gave some guidance around it. But some of the conditions, for example, is that if you get an air rifle, retention is at home. You transport on roads concerning the attached conditions only, so we could put that in. And you can discharge on land where prior permission has been granted for hunting and vermin control. Let me explain that a minute. What it means is that even though you are a registered color, you have a special permit, you're not allowed to go on anybody's private property to cull iguanas. You still need that permission. Of course, you will carry and discharge in accordance to the law, which is Section 18(1)(c). And I referred to it earlier, a few minutes ago, not firing within 40 yards of a road or in a residential area. But to simply put it, what other conditions that have been included is that it can only be done between midnight, or okay, put it this way. The firearms are off the streets after midnight and 1 hour before sunrise. So no one will be out or should be out firing at iguanas with an air rifle at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
That's a no-no. So the cullers will need to know that they can only cull iguanas with firearms up to midnight.
Okay.
And there are quite a number of conditions, but the other one I want to emphasize for the public is that they'll be wearing these orange jackets, vests, and they are clearly identifiable as green iguana color on the back. We're talking about displaying visible warning notices in areas to the public so they would see. And it means warning active shooting area, iguana culling in the process. So these are some of the areas, but not only then, but they also maintain a lookout as well to keep it safe for the public. And the conditions obviously would vary depending on the changes in circumstances. And I can say this. And one of the last things I like to say is that the commissioner has the right to revoke any license if anyone is non-compliant. So if you go outside the terms of these conditions and it's reported to us, we can substantiate that firearm is gone.
The thing with it, I gotta go and take a break right now. But here's a question I gotta ask you, Fred, and maybe you can think about it and answer back. Unlike some birds and so forth of that nature that really don't see colors, like dogs and so forth, can iguanas see orange? When I go to the U.S., I go hunting. And I put the vest on just so that some moron don't shoot me in the back, right? But birds don't see colors. And dogs don't see colors. But I'm just wondering whether or not iguanas can see colors in 2 different ways. See, I'm using the colloquial term colors and colors. So you don't see the colors of the color.
That's poetry, Woody. That's poetry.
I'm a poet. I'm a poet.
You're a poet, yeah.
Think about that when we come back, if you don't mind. But we're going to get into the application process as well and what you need to do. And we're probably going to be talking to SPC Price about that as well. What you need to submit. And if you listen now, what you need to start readying yourself for. And maybe a time frame that you'd be looking at. Because Fred is going to answer the question. I believe according to your press release, you're at least given probably, I think, until next year, December 2019, that your expired aspect of it. So you have some time if you want to apply for that process as well. That will help you through those things. We'll be right back after this short little break.
More of Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and live on Cayman 27 is next.
Hey, ooh, this have a flavor with a beat. Have a dance, make you move up your feet. Feel the rhythm in the music. Turn all into new into hits and classics. Every meal make you feel like it's a new remix. It's the most delicious in the West Indies. You know what it's Grace. Feel the vibe, can't you feel it? Grace. Delicious and nutritious. Yes. Quality when you taste it. Want affordable? Look for the label. Grace. Feel the vibe, can't you feel it? Grace. Delicious and nutritious. Yes. Quality when you taste it. Want affordable? Look for the label. Once you feel it, once you see it, once you taste it, it's real. Trust the flavor, the Caribbean Grace, it's real. Caribbean Grace, it's real.
Lunch lady of the past and lunch lady of the future.
We're dyeing our hair.
Yeah, now move it, George. I need the sun to cook the juices, and your head's making an eclipse.
I smell barbecue and hair. You must be done.
What color are you dyeing your hair?
We're putting red streaks in it.
Mom, can you talk to me before you start painting my kids?
Remember when you were 13 and you shaved your head? Now we're even.
This is the Volvo Ocean Race, the story of a 45-year obsession.
sailing's iconic race around the world, the ultimate test of a team, and the place where elite sport meets human adventure. With up to 10 sailors packed into 65 feet of carbon fibre for weeks on end, in a race that lasts almost 9 months, it's an adventure that borders on a psychological experiment.
What's up, everyone? I'm Doug Dodds. Here's today's top stories from the Cayman 27 newsroom. A 29-year-old woman appears in Cayman Brac court charged with attempted murder and wounding with intent. On Wednesday morning, Rainer Blackwood was remanded into custody in connection with a stabbing on Tuesday morning on Legend Drive in Cayman Brac. Miss Blackwood will appear in court on Grand Cayman November the 9th. In other news today, trade and business applications and vehicle licensing renewals have gone online. 2 new e-services headlined Wednesday morning's launch event, where Commerce Ministry officials touted increased efficiency and shared their vision of the e-government of the future. And finally today, government planning to make changes of the stamp duty law to help Cayman first-time buyers get on the property ladder. An amendment to be introduced in the Legislative Assembly's November session seeks a substantial increase in the threshold for stamp duty concessions. The proposed amendment will raise the thresholds on raw land purchases from $100,000 to $150,000 and from $300,000 to $400,000 for apartments, condos, or houses. For raw land purchases between $150,000 and $200,000, first-time buyers will pay a 2% stamp duty. That 2% rate will also apply for built-up properties valued from $400,000 to $500,000. For more news on these stories and others, click on Cayman 27 on KY or watch the news tonight at 6 with a replay at 7. For Hurley's Media, I'm Doug Dodds. Have a great day.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019, or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for tuning in. Happy Friday to all of you. We have the Superintendent, Adrian Sales from the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service in the studios with us, along with his SPC, Collins Price, and he's one of those that process the paperwork as well for firearms. And we have Mr. Fred Burton from the DOE. He is one of those individuals that take care, and I guess you would say spearheading the culling aspect of it for the DOE. A lot of work, to be honest with you, Fred. And we also have the media relations officer. And she says, don't call me a police officer. Where's my badge as well? You promised me a badge. But nevertheless, we're talking to all of you about the iguana culling, that it's starting in earnest Monday the 29th. And that basically goes all the way through, I think, December 31st, 2019. I think that's how it went.
Yeah,
when I saw the press release.
It's intended to run at least 14 months and maybe beyond. So it starts officially on Monday. But I think anybody who's been out and about in the last week knows that it's unofficially, it started already.
Yeah.
And I think there's an important point I really want to make about this, is that if all 350 colours turn up at the landfill at 8 o'clock on Monday morning, it ain't going to work. The landfill operation is designed to accept up to 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever thousand iguanas a day. It's not designed to take a whole week's worth of iguanas in one day. So if you've got iguanas on ice or iguanas ready to bring into the landfill, don't all plan on bringing them in on Monday morning, because there's no way that that's going to work. Not unless you really enjoy sitting in a car waiting in a very, very long queue. So I really want to urge registered colours not to all turn up at 8 o'clock on Monday morning, expecting that we can manage everybody one time.
And you're not going to accept it before 8, and you're not going to accept it after, what, 3:30, I think it is, right?
6 o'clock.
6
o'clock in the evening. Yeah.
6 o'clock. So it's
but
dark
it's
by
every
then.
day this week except Sunday. And then it's again next week, and it's again next week after that. So there's no rush to get things there by 8 o'clock tomorrow on Monday morning.
All right.
I think that's a really important thing, because if everybody turns up, it's not going to work.
Okay. And we heard in the first segment, SPC Price the superintendent was saying that there's going to be basically special provisions for those individuals whom have been registered with the DOE as colors. So, for example, I'm going to drag poor old Christopher in again. That poor boy. I keep dragging him through the mud. Christopher was not registered. This special license will never be attached to him because he's not a color, correct? All right. I need you to answer like in court, yes or no.
Yes, sir.
And I need you to come forward a little bit more, SPC. Welcome to the studio, sir. Talk to us about the licensing process for all of those individuals that may be looking to acquire a license over this 14-month period. And I just want to recap, and you all tell me where I go wrong and anything. Superintendent, tell me where I go wrong. This special license is going to be for the period that the culling is on. So hypothetically, it is on now for 14 months. But let's just say, for whatever reason, they cut it off in a year, 12 months. That means that what's going to end up happening for this culling license, they will be revoked, or those special conditions to that air rifle will be revoked.
Well, what it means is that the conditions will no longer apply for that special license. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and so those conditions will be revoked.
Well, they will terminate because it does say 14 months, or there is a particular section there we can amend according to circumstances, which answers your question.
Right.
I wouldn't use the word revoke too heavily.
Well, you see, the reason why I do that, legally, when I'm looking at the police, the firearms law, the word revoke is given to the commissioner of police, not necessarily termination of a license or an expiry of a license. Because if I wanted to expire that license, then I can simply say I'm going to renew again based on those terms and conditions. So hypothetically, I would say the commissioner will have to then revoke the special conditions of those licenses to make sure that no one has a legal basis. I'm just saying, just for that, because you may have people argue, say, well, look, I have a license. I'm going to renew it after that term, and I expect that there is going to be some similar conditions that's going to be attached because I had an expectation of that. But the commissioner said, heck no, I'm going to revoke it.
No, I see your point, but the special, and you're exactly right. Just for the call, that's where the special license came in. Anyhow,
yep.
And the call is in accordance with the DOE program.
Yeah.
So, although I would, sort of use a, less revoke-ish word, but I see your point.
Well, to me,
suspend,
exactly. To me, I just look at things in the legal sense, and I just wouldn't want, because there's a lot of people out there may be concerned, and some people may go, well, what's a big issue? I just don't want people having the wrong understanding, and then you all are bombarded with a lot of applications saying, you know what, this does not cite in a particular law at the moment. This is what it says, and I wouldn't want all of that happen. I just want to mitigate it from the very beginning, because to me, I have no problem with firearms. In fact, I enjoy firearms. My family enjoys firearms. Every time I go away, my wife and I, one of our treats is to find a shooting range somewhere down the line and just practice. And so I have no issue with firearms. I just think it's all about education.
Yes.
Education. And I'm one of those components say, well, a gun doesn't kill people. People kill people. And if you want to look at all of those things, look at, for example, London, the statistic they had over the summer. They were becoming almost the crime capital, very similar to New York. And there weren't guns. There were close stabbings. And I'm just saying those are the kind of things. People are evil in this world. Don't make tools evil. Yeah. And I got a lot of wonderful friends at the shooting club that are some of the greatest citizens that Cayman will ever have. And I just want people to know that anyone who owns a firearm is probably the most responsible people you'll ever come in contact with, because they're cognizant of that on a daily basis. And I just want to lay that foundation because I know some wonderful people. SPC Price.
Yes, sir.
I am now a color, and I want to apply for this license. What do I do from now?
Well, another first point I want to make clear is that the applicant must be 18 years and older.
Okay.
Fill out the application form, plus 2 photographs, 1 notarized, and a current police record. We'll then vet this person through our court system, through our databases, to make sure this person qualify to hold a firearms. Now, this person must also be competent in using this firearm. That means that person must be trained.
Explain that one to me. I'm kind of curious with that one now.
Yeah. Competency?
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's just say I've never owned a firearm before. Are you saying that I need to go and take lessons from someone from the shooting club or something of that nature to say that I am competent with it before I
must be competent with it. You must be able to use that firearm in such a manner that you won't endanger yourself or the public.
Okay.
So that person must get that competency test. When they get the competency test, then we have a board, look at all the application and documents there to make sure that everything is correct. Then we do a license or do a recommendation to the Commissioner of Police, and he looked at it and then sign off on it.
So he's the one that ultimately does it.
Finally.
You just put all the paperwork together and say, sir, we believe that he can, or no, this one, we recommend that you don't even do it.
Last word, it's up to him.
So I need to submit 2 photo IDs, have
Police
one notarized,
yes,
police clearance, right next to your department, so I can just hand it in right there at the same time, right?
And left out another point, a reference letter.
A reference?
Yes, from a public person like a lawyer, doctor, and representative, to make sure that you fit the personality of a person, that's viable to use a firearm.
So it's best that I go and find a psychiatrist then.
Yeah. we are making sure. We are making sure.
Clearing all
because the air rifle is considered to be a firearm.
Right.
So we are not compromising at no point in regards to the firearm. That person must fit all the criteria.
And so now that I got the application process, I've got the photo IDs, I've got at least, how many references do I need? 2 references at the very bare minimum. Then I need to have my police record. You're still going to vet me through the courts, even through the police record?
Still, and through an intel system, because there may be information there that's not in the court system that we are through our intel see and can look at and investigate.
Okay. All right. And then what else do I need to make sure that I have ready? I got to get trained. And so maybe the the Cayman Islands Shooting Club will verify, and because they're the only ones, because you all wouldn't do that.
Yes, they will give us a letter to say that, no, they will give us a letter to say that this person is competent.
Okay.
Through their training, able to use the firearm and care for the firearm. And also a point that that person also need to have a safe, a quality safe installed at their residence in an area that's not open to the public, bolted to the wall or to the floor.
Bolted?
Bolted.
Okay, so nobody
Secured.
just can come and pick it up and walk away with it.
That's correct.
Okay.
So those are some of the security areas that this person must be aware of. I must also add that this is also financially taxing on such a person.
I would imagine, because you got to buy safe and you got to do all these things. We got to go and take a little quick break right now, but I want to find out then how much do I need to apply for all of these things? What is the process? I've just went through my application, got all my application, my bundle together. I called the Cayman Islands Shooting Club, and one of the fine gentlemen or ladies over there has said that I'm competent, signed off on it. So I have my bundle together, and then I want you to tell me then what is the cost related to all of that, because I want to be honest with you.
Yes.
I truly want this to be a successful program. Mr. Burton and I had the discussion last week. I wish it was called an eradication process to kill them all. That would be my thing, right? Because they're just a pest. And I'm glad that government is doing it. But I want everyone to really get the ultimate and optimum money's worth out of this, especially a lot of young men that really could do with the resources. But I want to do it in a correct manner as well and give them the information so that we're not inundated with a lot of misnomers out there and a lot of misinformation.
Yes.
Because there's some things that we need to clarify and correct as well about the process, about the long and the duration of the license and those kind of licenses as well. We'll be right back after this short little break.
More of Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and live on Cayman 27. is next.
It's that time of year again for the annual Cayman 27 Parade of Lights, brought to you by Bogle Insurance Brokers Limited. We're calling all boats to join us Saturday, December 1st at Camana Bay as the water comes to life with this year's theme, Christmas Around the World. It's completely free to enter, and there's a chance to win $1,000 and 2 general admission tickets to Kaboo. Or enter just for fun. Private and commercial boats are welcome. For more information and to register your boat, click on cayman27.ky.
Heat resistant, scratch resistant, stain resistant, functional and durable. Paramount Carpets brings you the beauty of granite like no one else. Choose from a large selection of quality granite from Italy and Brazil. Paramount Carpets guarantees on-time delivery and professional installation. Granite, from the earth to your home.
We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor at Paramount Carpets.
Get ready to laugh as TV's funniest hidden camera show will have you in stitches. Just for Laughs, the Laugh Out Loud comedy show catches unsuspecting people in some of the funniest situations. It's Just for Laughs, and it's only here on Cayman 27. Catch it Monday through Friday.
I'm John Barry, and this is Songs and Stories. I believe in every song there's a story waiting to be told, and in every story there's a song waiting to be sung. Each week I'll have a friend stop by who will share great songs and personal stories in a unique setting that have been part of their life and career. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
To Shamal Clark. He's my forecaster for this morning from the National Weather Service. I like giving a shout out to all of those that do the work in the background and nobody knows. Shamal Clark, you're my hero for today and for the weekend because I tell you why. Here's what he got on my screen this morning, ladies and gentlemen. He has a high of 84 with the real fuel temperature. The heat index, may hover around about 96 degrees with a 20% chance of showers, but he says it's a lot lower than that. Nevertheless, it's going to be times of sun and clouds, but here's what he put on there. It's going to be a pleasant day. That's actually on my screen. Winds are softly going to be coming at you from the north at 4 miles per hour with a sea height between smooth and 2 feet. That means it's going to be beautiful in the Cayman Islands. Oh my goodness gracious. Winds are going to continue. That little clip at about 4 miles per hour. That's going to cool your surface temperatures down tonight to 79 degrees, but the real fuel temperature is going to be about 86 degrees. You got a 20% chance of experiencing showers, but it's going to be brief in passing, if any. Tonight is going to be partly cloudy. Your sunrise this morning was at 6:24. Sunset will be at 5:55, so it's getting darker. You got 11 hours and 31 minutes of beautiful tropical sun to enjoy. I just want to say to Patrice, thank you for coming down from Boston to really enjoy the gorgeous Cayman Islands, and you're going to have a similar weather forecast pattern straight through until Monday morning. Join us back with some fine individuals in the studios. We're talking about the iguana cull and licensing of firearms.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019, or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for tuning in. Let this be part of your morning and part of your day. If you would like to call us, we have a phone number in the studios. We got the big one and the big man, the big cheese, the Bull Command in the studios with us this morning. And we got Superintendent Seals, 233-1019 if you would like to contact us. I also got an email, got some emails that are coming in through as well, and WhatsApp. You can see my phone going off. And the WhatsApp is 324-1019. That is 324-1019. And also we got email, which is caymancrosstalk@hurleysmedia.ky, caymancrosstalk@hurleysmedia.ky, and also on our Facebook page as well, which is Cayman Crosstalk. Drop us a line, drop us a message there, and I'll be happy to share all of those with many of you as well. And, Superintendent, I got several different questions that came through, but before I get to the questions, SPC price. What's the price?
Yeah. It's a lot.
Jack, it's a Friday.
Yeah.
Well done.
All right. Well, tell us what are the initial costs, because you just can't go and get a license. It's not that easy. And you all do that for a very good reason, is to control their firearms and who have those. Even though they're criminals, they don't care about licenses, but you all care about control. What are the costs to this?
Okay. Look at the rifle cost. It's $1,000. The import permit, which we do from our office, is $500 for the rifle to import it, and $10 for the pellets. And then you're looking at the import.
$10 for the pellets? What do you mean?
Yes.
What do you mean? I got it. I'm curious because per pellet? Because I'm screwed.
No.
Because I can tell you, I can go
to... It's a base cost.
Okay, I can go to...
That's it.
All right, I can go to Walmart and I can buy a 5,000 thing of BBs. Or
yes,
I can,
and that's $10.
Okay, I just want to know. If it was per one, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not feasible.
and we're looking at the import duty, which is 102%.
102%?
Uh-huh.
Of the rifle cost, right? Whatever the rifle.
Yes.
Cheese and crackers.
And the ammunition, yeah.
And the ammunition, right.
Jeez.
So that's a lot of money.
What? Plus you got to buy the safe.
And then and the safe.
And the licensing fees. Yeah.
And
it's an investment.
Yes, it is. It's cost a lot. For, I guess, a $5 head for iguana, that's a lot of...
And I think we were saying that it takes, on average, about two to three shots on average to kill an iguana, right? That's the average. So you're looking at...
Eddie would tell you he can take it off in one.
Not everybody's Eddie.
Get it right now. And Fred likes that because it's quick and painless, right, Fred?
Yep, one straight through the brain, and that should do the job. But in practice, no, it always takes more.
And there's one more cost. This is our 3-year license fee of $300.
A license, 100 per year.
100 annually.
And then, all right, now with this specific license.
Yes, sir.
Because this license does not necessarily, and this is where the kicker is, and this is where we need to make sure that we get it right. This license, this special license that we're talking for the colors, doesn't necessarily go for 3 years per se.
No.
Because they have special terms and conditions apply.
Yes.
Right? And those special terms and conditions apply is only when the DOE really says the cull is over. Mm-hmm. And that can be 14 months, that can be 9 months, that can be...
Right, that's correct.
Whatever it may be. And so as soon as that expires, as soon as they say the cull is over, whatever conditions on that license expires. And so therefore, are you saying then to me that I made an investment of well over $3,000 possibly to get a firearm? Are you then submitting to me that I then need to find, for example, Superintendent Seals, he has 5 acres in East End. I need to go and get his permission to make sure that I can shoot on his land or become a member of the gun club.
Or we'll have to adjust that license. In other words, the condition of a license only implies to iguana culling.
Right.
And once that's finished, that license is dormant.
Right. But I want to keep my gun.
Well, you'll have to apply. If you don't have a license before, where you used to farm and land, no, you'll have to apply to use that said rifle on a farmland.
Or could I get it? Could I become a member of the gun club? And could I then use that at the range and so forth?
So it specifies if you get it for the gun club, that's a gun club.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to get it for farming, you do it for farming, and you can get it for both. But whichever specification, gun club, that's gun club.
That needs to be adjusted after this cull.
Yes.
Conditions are done. Because I want to make sure that those out there that understand that this is not going to be a long duration of license. This is a special condition and a special exemption that was created specifically for this cull.
Yes.
And we got to make sure of that, because the last thing we want to do is to have people vexed and frustrated with maybe a misunderstanding that is out there. It would mitigate your time. It would mitigate their frustration, and possibly money always comes with frustration, to be honest with you.
Fair enough. Yes.
And, it says, how do I bring an air rifle into the island? Can I bring it by FedEx or DHL or some courier?
Well, courier service does help. People applied and then they use courier service to get it from them, bring it in. But the custom duty is still there. So once they come into the customs, they are cleared. We go and we clear it, and then we lock it up until the person safe is inspected. Then we hand it over to the person, and it's kept there in the safe.
And the thing with it is, and just for the benefit out there, and if my memory serves me correct, members of the gun club superintendent, I believe last year when the custom fees and duties were amended and changed, I believe that they were allowed special exemptions as well. For example, I believe if you're getting a handgun, you really don't pay the same duty if you're a member of the gun club. And if you're a farmer, you get your rifle, but you got to pay for a handgun. And I believe that was it. I stand corrected at a given time, but I remember when Minister Archer came in, that was a little while back as well, when that came through. So my memory is just, I'm trying to rub the cobwebs off of that ROM memory. But I believe those are the things too. So if you want to save some money, you can become part of that association, and maybe it'll save you. But if you get a rifle, it may not impact you that greatly in terms of cost.
Well, just a point to make that the handguns are not used for culling.
Why not?
Well, those are used for the gun club. Those for sports.
No, you can get an air rifle handgun that shoots pretty much powerful. I wouldn't say as powerful as one of the ones that, for example, like Mr. McLean has and others have. But you can actually get air guns. Handguns that you can actually utilize as a BB gun, for example, as part of the culling.
We only use a rifle. Only the rifle is scheduled to be used. It's a policy that we have. That's only the rifles are used.
So only long guns, not handguns.
Not handguns.
And that is in the condition.
That's correct.
All right.
That's a condition.
All right,
And it's caliber .22 or .25. Nothing.
Well, I can get handgun air guns that can be that caliber as well and shoot that distance.
Rifles.
As well.
Rifles.
So
not handguns.
All right. I just wanted to make sure because you have a plethora nowadays of different air guns.
Correct.
And people probably would say, you know what? I don't want a big old rifle because I got to go buy a big old safe. I can just buy me a nice little safe. I can drill it to the ground. I got a nice little handgun that really has a good, PSI in it. I can hop it up a little bit so I get a little bit more PSI and can burn up maybe, 400 feet a second, which is pretty powerful.
Yeah, I agree. But our policy is rifles.
All right. So I'm glad that we clarified that.
Actually, I just had a couple of things I wanted to mention because SBC Price mentioned, when you mentioned getting a gun on island through a courier, you need to actually have an import permit first. You need to apply and get an import permit. So you just can't go online and buy it off the States and have it come here. No, you need to have an import permit first. Then we will go to customs and clear it. So that's one thing. I just wanted to point out for people who have questions that we have a lot of information on our website, including the forms that need to be filled out. So if you go to our website, if you scroll to the bottom, there's a little forms thing you can click. It goes and takes you to where all the forms are for firearms and for the form for import permit. That is where you can download these forms. These forms are not inputtable online, but you can download them, fill them out, and bring them to the Security and Firearms Licensing Unit on Walker's Road. I just wanted to mention one other thing, because I think it was just for clarification's sake, regarding the special conditions on the special license. The special license specifically, it has an exemption in it, so you can shoot within 40 yards of a public road. That's one of the main things that the special license does, is it enables people who are registered cullers to go ahead and shoot within 40 yards of a public road. Once the culling project is over, whenever that is, that's one of the special, that's going to be withdrawn. So that's one of the things that I think SBC Price was talking about, is when the licenses change at the end of the culling project, whenever that is, that special exemption comes back. So, so because generally, as a general practice, firearms licenses do not allow people to fire within 40 yards of a public road. So the special aspect of the special license is it's letting you do that. I just want to correct something that's in the Compass today in the editorial section, which is supportive of the DOE's project and our efforts. So that's great. But there is a misunderstanding regarding the 40-yard thing. It says that the special license is only within 40 yards of the public road. It allows you to shoot. That's not correct. What we're trying to say is that there is an exemption so that you can shoot there, but of course you can shoot elsewhere. So just to correct that. Again, at www.rcips.ky, you'll see a lot of information there about the special licenses. So please go there. The forms are there. And I hope that is a resource for everybody who is interested in doing this.
and you can look at the firearms law, ladies and gentlemen. It is Firearms Law 2008 revision, and we're talking Section 18, and I know it quite well. And we're kind of going to take a little break right now, but when we come back, I want to kind of recap a whole lot of things as well for those out there, because the cull registration has now ended. But we want to make sure the whole entire community understands what is happening, that they don't freak out if they see certain people at certain areas and locations as well, and that, you know, Superintendent Seals is sending off the firearms, the USG squad down the road looking for somebody that's shooting iguanas. So we want to make sure that we mitigate all of those risks as well, and all of you find individuals out there to have as much answers to the questions that you have. But before I end, I want to drop this for all of you, and you can think about it. It says, good morning. If one is a registered commercial farmer who is already in the process of applying for an air rifle for duties on his own farm and is also a registered color of the invasive green iguana, how does one go about making the differentiation in the application process for that? I leave that for both the police officers to think about.
The opinions expressed by Cayman Crosstalk, its hosts, callers, or guests are not those of Hurley's Media or its sponsors.
Here are your latest news headlines from the Cayman 27 News Team on Rooster 101's Cayman Crosstalk. Now, here's the news.
Attempted murder in the Brack. What's up, everyone? I'm Doug Dodds. Here's today's top stories from the Cayman 27 newsroom. A 29-year-old woman appears in Cayman Brack court charged with attempted murder and wounding with intent. On Wednesday morning, Rainer Blackwood was remanded into custody in connection with a stabbing on Tuesday morning on Legend Drive in Cayman Brack. This Blackwood will appear in court on Grand Cayman November the 9th. In other news today, trade and business applications and vehicle licensing renewals have gone online. 2 new e-services headlined Wednesday morning's launch event, where Commerce Ministry officials touted increased efficiency and shared their vision of the e-government of the future. And finally today, government planning to make changes of the stamp duty law to help Cayman first-time buyers get on the property ladder. An amendment to be introduced in the Legislative Assembly's November session seeks a substantial increase in the threshold for stamp duty concessions. The proposed amendment will raise the thresholds on raw land purchases from $100,000 to $150,000 and from $300,000 to $400,000 for apartments, condos, or houses. For raw land purchases between $150,000 and $200,000, first-time buyers will pay a 2% stamp duty. That 2% rate will also apply for built-up properties valued from $400,000 to $500,000. For more news on these stories and others, click on Cayman 27 on KY or watch the news tonight at 6 with a replay at 7. For Hurley's Media, I'm Doug Dodds. Have a great day.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019, or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for tuning in and letting us be part of your morning. And I have everybody here this morning that is going to answer your questions. And I want to sincerely, no, I genuinely mean this. Jackie, thank you very much for helping me organize this, because it has been a massive thing from a lot of people that wanted to become colors, and then a lot of questions subsequent to that about air rifles, because when they were going for the registration, they were hearing people talk and know people that got licenses, and like, well, they have an advantage over me. How do I get an air gun license and so forth? So all of those things came up. So I want to sincerely thank each one of you from the respective agencies for coming in this morning. And if you're just tuning in right now, Mr. Fred Burton from the DOE, he's basically spearheading this culling program. The poor guy, I wouldn't just have my prayers with you. In addition, we got Superintendent Seals, who is really in charge of the firearms licensing aspect as well. He has SBC Price with him that basically goes through the application process and vets each one of them and gets them ready for not only Superintendent Seals to present to the Commissioner of Police, but just simply make sure that everything, all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted to make sure that whoever gets a license meets all or exceeds all the criteria that is within the application process and also within the Firearms Law 2008 revision. Here's a couple of questions that came through and multiple ones that came through as well. It says, the last one I want to answer first, which I thought was a good one. It says, if one is a registered commercial farmer who is already in the process of applying for an air rifle for duties on one's own farm and is also a registered color of the invasive green iguana, how does one go about differentiating that on the application process?
I'll take that. That is a very good question, and it's to the point. And all that applicant would need to do is complete Form C. If you go to the website, we've uploaded a lot of these applications forms there, and certainly for the police, registered firearm holders who are familiar with weapons, we take public safety seriously, and we would encourage those gun owners to come forward if you haven't come forward already. But simply put, they complete Form C, and that would give them the exemptions required to go within 40 yards or firing within a residential area. If the writer hadn't heard of it before, you'll also be required to wear an orange vest with clearly identifiable markings on the back that says green iguana culling. If it's, again, within a residential area, you'll need to put up warning signs on sort of a A-frame or tripod that is clearly visible, and have a lookout to ensure that, there's active shooting in the area, and it's safe at all times. But it's simple as that.
Okay. And got a ton of other ones as well, and I'm glad that you all are here. Question for you all. Supposedly, if you were convicted but now have a clear police record, is it possible for that individual to apply for a firearms license with the proper references and background checks? I know, SPC Price, you were saying that before. You can submit a police record, but you're still going to do your background checks that may not be registered at all. Yeah. And in that context, would that applicant be granted that license?
Well, once we see what the convictions are, and if they are expunged, we can look at it in the board meeting, then apply that document to the commissioner to make that final decision.
All right. Well, I'm just going to be devil's advocate here in that nature. Government is trying to push for second chances, so maybe that'll be considered as well, and duration in which the clearing of that record has been done, and character and all of that would probably play a big factor in it as well. Here's what it's saying here: children 13 years or even younger in the United States of America use air rifles very frequently to kill rats and other rodents like squirrels and whatnot. Therefore, why is this so complicated and expensive to bring these to the Cayman Islands? And I want to append to that, especially in the UK as well. UK allows just readily anyone to go and buy a air rifle within an air gun within the United Kingdom. Why is it so complicated and difficult?
Woody, before you go to the air rifle side of that, I would just mention that in terms of even registering as a green iguana color, we did put an age limit and expect people to be 18 years and older.
Yeah, they should be in school if they're less than that.
Yeah, well, that's one point, and the other point is, you're not legally in a position to work for money, and the colours that we're looking for and have registered are people who are serious about this. It's like part-time work, or in some cases even full-time work.
Yeah,
and so we're talking 18 years and older.
Well, I just want to let you know, as ESO has the stats that you can't work from 15, and their stats go from 15 to 26, and 15 to 26 is the vulnerable age of young men that are not able to work. In the Cayman Islands, that's the highest percentage at 13.6% at the last ESO stats. I'm just saying. And that's why I'm happy for this call to happen, to be honest with you, because it's helping a lot of people. And I would just say, just being reasonable, it will take a lot of individuals that don't have any other things and focus their attention on something else as well.
Yeah, Woody, I'd like to answer your last question. The challenge here with our firearms law, it's the definition. You mentioned the UK, for example, but if you recall, the UK uses standard for an air rifle of 12 foot-pounds, or I think it works out to 650 feet per second.
Yep.
If you use the U.S. terms. We do have in our definition a section that the governor can prescribe those limits, but we don't have those amendments as yet. So as far as the air rifle, air pistols are concerned, they all fall, if you understand, under the general definition of firearm.
Right.
Yes. So that's really where the challenge comes in. In fact, you will know that in the UK, the standard is 12 foot-pounds for an air rifle and 6 foot-pounds for an air pistol. But what it means is that if you are in excess of 12 foot-pounds, you would require a license. So putting it another way, donkey years ago, it used to be anything 0.117 or below, you don't need a license in the UK. But we never got that written into our law.
You see, I think, to be honest with you, and I submit to you, maybe that's something that we should consider, gentlemen. You all are in the field, and I would imagine each one of you have been trained to handle firearms, and it's all about education. And it's all about making sure that what people know as a tool in front of them, any tool can be used by a dangerous-minded individual. And that if you have these things around, to me, I would submit. I have done a paper on it. I was telling Jackie as well. In Washington, D.C., and in the aspects of gun ownership. And for the lack of a better phrasing, Washington, D.C., for the longest period of time, from the late 80s to the mid-90s, was considered the murder capital of the world. Tegucigalpa and San Pedro Sula didn't have nothing to them then. And if you remember correctly, that's when the posses was out, and just shower posse and all of those ones were there. Those criminals, you could not get a license in the District of Columbia in any way whatsoever. It was the hardest to even get, but the criminals had them. But when, I think it was Brown versus the United States of America, when that changed, now the statistics is completely different. And if you even want to take that and superimpose that in the United States of America that loves guns, that has over 350 million guns, that means there's basically one gun per person in the United States of America. Superimpose that onto Chicago. Chicago has the murder capital of America right now, where there's some 1,400 people that have been murdered since January. And they have the most restrictive gun licenses and gun ownership laws in the whole entire United States out of all 51 states. One tells you something, that a criminal is a criminal. They don't care about the laws and regulations that you're reading right now, Superintendent. They're going to do what they got to do when they want to do it. And they're going to take advantage of the vulnerable. And sometimes that's one thing I want to advocate for, especially for women and so forth, that they can have things that protect themselves like mace, all of those other things that, frankly, you all have to protect yourself and your person as well. We need to start considering that, because I will never forget. I know we're going off from the culling aspect of it, but for example, people like Estella and the grim reality of what transpired with that, if women could have mace or other things to protect themselves and ignorance of firearms would be mitigated, I believe that we would have these criminals walking around here thinking differently. Like the other night, mine got shot in his belly at 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night at Welly's Cool Spot. I mean, it's just ridiculous, getting ridiculous here in the Cayman Islands. Also, here's one poster put this up. It says, I'm sorry, but already I'm really getting disappointed. It seems that it is so expensive, and it appears that they just simply want my money, and there's really no guarantee that I am going to get any license whatsoever. Is that reasonable to say?
It is expensive. I mean, if a firearm is not a toy, and if you're going to be a new gun owner, I can't stress enough competency testing. You need to know the smart end. And you've heard stories before with persons who would have a firearm in their hands, and they would say, you know, if I just stick my finger in the barrel and pull the trigger, would it stop the bullet? Well, you and I know that. By the end of the day, they'll be short of a digit. But I say that lightly. But honestly, we really need to take firearms seriously. It's not a toy.
It's certainly not. And that's the thing. And even air rifles, to your point, at any kind of feet pound per second is serious, especially 680. That's a pretty powerful weapon. Mm-hmm. And here's another. I got to go and take a break, but I'm going to read you a question, gentlemen. It says, good morning, Woody. I understand that the letter is needed from the gun club only if the gun is used at the gun club. Therefore, like how it is just for culling iguanas and not at the gun club, why do we still need a letter from the gun club? And I understand the safe for the gun don't have to be in place after you have been granted the license. Can you clarify all of that? And then I also understand that there's another fee of $200 even to get your training and a letter possibly from the gun club. So I'll just build that up and we'll come back and we can answer those questions. And more ticking in to be.
More of Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and live on Cayman 27 is next.
Shiver me timber! Elite Marble and Granite bring the charm of Italy to your home. Made from only the best materials. Santa Margherita Quartz is handcrafted at a state-of-the-art facility located in Italy and then journeys across the ocean to Elite Marble and Granite, who is the exclusive distributor in the Caribbean. Elegant and resistant, Santa Margherita Quartz products offer a large choice of colors, textures, and exclusive finishes. Call 945-9028 or visit us online at elite.ky. Elite Marble and Granite, where perfection costs less. It's time to celebrate. Join family and friends as we honor UCCI's graduating class of 2018. EY is proud to be the exclusive television broadcast sponsor of the University College of the Cayman Islands graduation ceremony. Tune in to Cayman 27 Thursday, November 1st at 7 p.m. Let's celebrate our graduates and their new beginnings. Live on Cayman 27 Thursday, November 1st at 7 p.m. EY, proud telecast sponsor, committed to giving back to the community and recognizing talent.
Take an adventure through Central Australia in this new show, 4x4 Adventure. This rough and rugged expedition follows the tracks of explorers as they map out the territories of the Central Outback. Along the way, the crews will deal with the problems of four-wheel driving while battling the air-ridden, dry conditions of the desert. Watch 4x4 Adventure.
Well, next Lakers on TV, and then I thought I'd try to get on top of a laundry here.
Jeff's watching a Knicks game, and then nothing. What? What's going on?
Well, I'm hosting a sweet throwdown to celebrate old Timbo here becoming a U.S. citizen.
There was a citizen.
It's a long story.
Russell's trying to bag some woman?
I stand corrected.
Or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
Never. Just, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for tuning in, letting us be part of our morning, part of your day. I got a couple of questions that came through. And roughly the last question that came through was very similar to the one about the farmer and having the application and making the distinction between the two. Now, what we're talking this morning, because it really has been dominating a lot of our social media, and like I said before, if anyone has just been tuning in, I just want to sincerely thank all of you for taking your time this morning to answer this question, Mr. Burton as well. Because really, I think this is a community spirit, and a lot of people are vexed by the pests, to be honest with you, Mr. Burton, and I'm glad to see the community is getting behind it. But just this morning, we're just talking about licensing, but we just want to emphasize as well, you can catch iguanas without having the necessity of a gun.
And most of the colours are not going to be using guns.
Right.
I mean, this is the reality of it. I mean, there's a lot of interest in the firearms aspect of this, but I think it's really important to emphasise the majority of registered colours that are involved in this thing are not going to be using firearms. I mean, that's it's very practical and actually essential that we have people culling without firearms, because there are many places that you simply cannot safely take a shot.
Well, here's one for you that came through. They want me to go in the bush like some sort of savage with a stick and a rope.
It's work. It's dirty work.
Talking about some sort of savage, there's a few things going on already now that we need to be concerned about.
Well, we're going to talk about how being cruel to these things as well, and what you got to do as well, right?
Yeah. So all of the people who've registered as colours have signed agreements, and those agreements bind them to behave legally, and that's one concern, but also to be sensitive to public opinion. It's very, very important that the level of public support we have for this effort is maintained and is not compromised by people behaving irresponsibly. I've heard reports in the last week of people dumping headless iguanas in the dikes in Barkers so they can bring the heads for counting at the dump. And we've had a lot of people saying, can we just bring the heads? I want to make this very, very clear that we want to encourage people who wish to consume iguana meat to do so. I think this is a good thing to encourage people to actually use the bodies of the iguanas in ways that are better than just dumping them, right?
Sure, I think Tuka calls it the tree chicken.
So if you're culling 100 iguanas and you want to keep two to eat, and you just want to bring the heads of those iguanas, fine. But what we do not want is for everybody to chop the heads off these iguanas, dump the bodies in public places, which is not okay, and just bring us their heads. If you're going to use the iguanas, good. But if you're not going to use the iguanas, bring the whole body, and it can be disposed of properly. The other aspect of this is just basically being sensitive to public opinion. If you're out in a public place culling iguanas, be sensitive to observers, and don't be obviously and overtly brutal to these animals in public sight. Anybody who's got a registration, who is basically caught or reported violating the terms of that registration, will lose that registration. Just as if they violate the terms of their air rifle license, they will lose their gun license. We need people to behave responsibly. It's really, really important.
Well, you know, I just want to clarify the same instance, the last question that came through about a gun club member applying for the license. It's the same thing as it would be a farmer as well. And that would go, that special condition would go onto their license.
Yes.
And would expire when the cull expires as well.
Yes.
And for those out there, I'm not sure, just go and contact the gun club, get to see and get to know it. And I tell you the truth, it's nothing bad with it. To know your firearm before you do so, no matter if it's an air rifle or whatever it may be. In fact, I hope you reconsider and maybe even just look at some air pistols as well, because some of them are a lot more convenient. And they're not as, the PSI is not as great as well. You can team them down much more so than a rifle. I'm just saying, just for those benefits as well. But I just want to say to all of you, sincerely thank you for coming in. And Mr. Burton, one more time, you don't, because I know you mentioned the headless iguanas.
Yeah.
We have a problem with iguanas. And there's no doubt about it. But imagine you have 1 million iguanas I'm just exaggerating, but let's just say 10,000 because you got about 300 colors out there. And like you said, some of them represent landscaping companies. Some of them represent other things that, so it could be one color that has a responsibility for 10 others. So it's not unreasonable. You have probably in excess of 4, maybe 500 people that are allowed to cull, right?
But the registered colors have that responsibility.
Right.
That the people working under them, the people culling on their behalf, are observing the same conditions that the registered color signed up for.
Right. And the reason why I said that is that if you had each one of those, hypothetically the 300 odd that is registered, lobbing off heads and just tossing bodies wherever they find them, we're going to then have another public health issue on our hands.
Yeah, it's completely unacceptable. And anybody who's found doing that, we will revoke their registration.
Brilliant. I'm glad to hear that. Repeat it one more time, please.
We will revoke their registration.
And if you got, you sounded like Schultz off of Hogan's Heroes just now. And then once that is revoked, and hear this, and you all correct me if I'm wrong, if the special condition then was attached to a person that did that, that's a licensed firearm holder.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone too.
All right. So
yeah, the registration card matters from that point of view too. But also just an obvious point it might seem, but one that we can't repeat more often, too often. You need the registration card to bring with your iguanas to the landfill reception site if you want to be paid. If somebody brings iguanas to that site without a registration card, they will be turned away. Please don't bring iguanas to the reception site if you do not have a registration card.
All right. And I got a couple of West Beers that's saying, find them on Willow Farrington Road colors. Please take them off of it.
Yeah. So a lot. Actually, this
come to my yard as well, please.
Yeah.
It's worth mentioning.
I give you permission.
Worth mentioning too. A lot of the registered colours have indicated they're willing to have their contact information made public. So we're going to be actually publishing a subset of all of these colours who are happy for us to do that. Names and contact information. So if you've got iguanas in your yard, you can look at that list, see if there's someone you'd be happy to call them, and they'll come and cull your iguanas.
Wonderful. And I just want to say, SPC Price, it was a pleasure to meet you this morning. And honestly, I'm looking for, I know you're going to be busy for application, possibly for a lot of these colors. And I wish you all the best of luck. And thank you for coming in and answering some questions. Seriously, I genuinely mean it. Thank you. And Superintendent Seals, thank you. I got to say this to you because you're part of the Gold Command as well.
Yes.
And I just want to say, I say this to every Gold Command that comes in. I genuinely mean it. Thank you very much for allowing this communication to happen, especially allowing Jackie to happen, because you may know, seriously, beforehand, I tried many, many times from when I started, and it was difficult, and the previous commissioner didn't like it, but I just want to say to you, I feel, and we've seen some dividends paying off here, where we're having this communication and people understand who you are and getting familiar with the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service again. That has always been one of my goals, is to make sure that we build that gap, or bridge that gap, to make sure that we become a part of a community again, and that it's not them versus us, that we're in this together.
Yes.
And I just want to say, I say it to the Deputy Commissioner last time and to Superintendent Brad as well, but thank you to Gold Command for allowing this to happen. I genuinely mean it.
Yeah, certainly it's the RCIAPS view, certainly mine, to communicate with the public. Remember, Robert Peel said it best, that the police are the community is the police.
Yep.
And I think the best way sharing information, and if, persons are going to be compliant, they need to have this information, and we're all readily available to, have and share information. Just on the application process, again, at the Business Center on Walker's Road, if there are any questions at all relative to the special licenses, the staff there are more than happy to assist. It's not meant to hinder the process or make it difficult for anyone. But at the same time, we got to make it, safe for the public. And we know we still represent the public. So for me, it's been a pleasure. And, working with the DOE. It's not the first time, but we go cross-service government and we often, embrace these initiatives. I too agree that the iguana population has gotten way out of hand, and something needs to be done. If my knowledge is correct, I'm told that the numbers actually double every 2 years. So if you're looking at 1.4-ish million right now, just imagine what we'll be looking at 3 years down the road. So again, it's been a pleasure in your great facilities. Thank you.
And you see what I did for you, because the last time you were in a cell with me.
It was very cozy.
I opened all the windows up
the
just
windows,
for you.
just for you.
For you, Superintendent. Just for you.
It's fantastic.
And, Mr. Burton, like I said before, I just, every time I'm going to have you here, and I like giving compliments to people when they're alive, to be honest with you. In this society, we tend to praise people after they're dead. Oh, they did this, they did that.
It's the safest time.
And I'm going to use the words of the Premier. Hopefully, your demise is far down the road with his own, right? Having said that, sincerely, thank you for bringing something very unique to the Cayman Islands back from the brink of extinction. A lot of people don't realize that almost 20 years ago, you were one of the lone voices out there and then started building more and more to bring back our unique blue iguana to the Cayman Islands. And I think that is something that people that may be new to the island or youngsters that really didn't know, you deserve to have that praise. And if I have this forum, I'm not sure how long, I might have the pink slip right out at the door after this. It's a Friday. He fires people on Fridays. But sincerely, thank you and congratulations on the great works that we see some numbers of the blues going up as well.
Well, thank you too, Woody. And thank you, all you folks at RCIPS. You've been really, really cooperative on this, and from the DFE's point of view, we couldn't be happier. Very, very much appreciate it.
And
thank you, Woody, for enabling us to have this platform and to converse with you, because actually I think public education happens best in a conversation.
Yep, in a conversation.
So thank you for facilitating that.
No, it's always a pleasure, and sometimes sales matter, but this takes precedent for me. But having said that, we're going to have next, guns aside, we're going to be talking about bulletproofing your children. And we're going to have Charmaine from the Family Resource Center coming in talking about bulletproofing. And there's going to be a seminar down at the Kimpton this Monday. We're going to give you some information for that as well. But it would be remiss of me not to say one more time, thank you all very much. And as I normally do with most of my clients and most of my friends and people here, I hope that you have a wonderful, safe weekend, and Godspeed to all of you.
All right. Thank you.
More of Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and live on Cayman 27 is next.
Did you know that Kirk Motors Napa will deliver your parts?
Have you heard? They have new daily meal deals at Popeyes. A different meal with sides every day of the week for the same price of just $3.99. Monday is chicken soup with rice. Tuesday for the chicken bowl. 2 tenders on Wednesday. A loaded chicken wrap on Thursday. It's all about that shrimp on Friday. Chicken nuggets to start the weekend. And the mixed 2-piece to finish.
The new daily meal deals from Popeyes. A different meal every day, served with the world-famous best dressed chicken for only $3.99. Only at Popeyes, Louisiana Kitchen on Eastern Avenue.
It's fresh. Fresh from the garden, it's fresh.
Hurley's introduces Chef Kits, the newest, easiest way to serve your family home-cooked meals in about 30 minutes. Every Chef Kit includes Hurley's fresh beef, chicken, fish, or veg, and pre-measured spices, sauces, oils, and seasonings. We include everything but the dinner plates. Simply follow the enclosed directions to create home-cooked, gourmet-inspired meals for 2 or 4 people. Hurley's Chef Kits for fresh, easy, speedy meals your family will love.
Bogle Insurance Brokers Limited are professional, independent insurance brokers established in 1988. We are a wholly Caymanian-owned insurance broker with a wealth of knowledge in the local and international insurance market. Our professional team service clients with a range of insurance products, including motor, home, health, contractors, marine, and business insurance, among others. Contact us at 949-0579 or email us at service@bogleins.com.
Australia's best anglers go head-to-head in this premier tournament, the Australia Fishing Championships. This popular fishing show sees the country's best casting their lines across the outback. From the freshwater lakes and rivers to the spectacular tropical waters of the coast. These fishermen try to reel in the biggest fish out there. Watch on Cayman 27 to see who lands the biggest catch.
Hotline 233-1019 or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for tuning in and let us be part of your morning and part of your day. One of my most favorite guests is in the studios this morning, Ms. Ormy Miller from the Family Resource Center. And I just want to say welcome back to the studios.
Thank
you. We're talking about bully-proofing our children. And I want you to give me a little bit more detail on that and how we all could actually maybe go to the seminar as well.
Yeah.
Where and
No, definitely. Our Bully Proof Your Child parenting session is one of the events that have been organized for the month of October in honor of our anti-bullying campaign. And so we're wrapping up the month with this presentation, which will be taking place at the Kimpton, right? Ooh. So it's very, I know. Kimpton's supporting us this time around, so we're very excited about that. Wow. Hopefully it'll attract a larger crowd. Yeah. So that's happening on Monday. And
just even go see what it looks like.
I know.
It's a beautiful hotel.
It's beautiful. And so it's going to be a nice platform for us to talk about this very important topic. Taking place at the Kimpton at 5:30 until 7:30. Refreshments will be provided and the event is free.
What?
Yeah, it's
Repeat it
free.
one more time.
Everything that we do at FRC is free.
All day today, everything I put on was free. So it's a great Friday for me.
It is. It is. And we're very excited because we've done, over the course of the month, we've done different sort of activities catered to different groups, right, and crowds. So we worked with the kids through the anti-bullying fair. We also did some social media engagement posts, and now we're working with the parents because we feel like when we're tackling bullying, we need to make sure that, we're looking at the entire system. Right. And so our parents, obviously, they have a very important role to play when it comes to the messages that they are sending their to their kids about, how to respond to bullying in a safe way. And so the conversation is pretty much targeted to parents so that they can feel empowered and they are relaying the appropriate and safe message when it comes to identifying bullying, whether their child is the bully, whether their child is the victim, the upstander, or the bystander. So the session's pretty much going to be focused on the different groups that exist, whether it is, generally in the school system. You've got your bullies, you've got your victims, your upstanders and the bystanders, and talk about generally what the characteristics are of each and what parents can do to support their child in the event that they are being bullied, they're victims, or in the event that their child themselves is being a bully, how to address those behaviors and nip it in the bud so that it doesn't become the norm for them, or it doesn't become something that's quite habitual and normal for them and manifests itself in the later years. So the presentation is going to be very, very practical information that I always pride myself in ensuring that we're meeting theory and research along with practicality, right? Stuff that is definitely evidence-based, but also information that as a parent myself, I can apply at home with my own children. We also have the support of our therapist from the Counseling Center, Dr. Catherine Whitaker, who will be having a segment on the mental health, the impact of bullying on mental health. And so she'll take up some time for that. And we actually have a testimonial from a victim who was bullied also, a youth. And he's just, he wanted to be a part of this experience and begin his journey when it comes to promoting awareness around this issue. So we're very excited about this presentation. And I definitely do encourage everyone to attend. It's just a matter of calling FRC at 949-0006, emailing us at frc@gov.ky, or check us out on Facebook because there is a direct online registration link.
Well, I like it because it's absolutely free. And when we come back, I want to ask you a question. Maybe you can think about it as well. And this actually presented itself to me.
Okay.
I think it was late last week. A parent was actually perturbed and surprised at the same time that
it came across or it got back to them that their child was a bully.
Right.
And in their mind, this is like, you know, what we call it, a home angel, street devil kind of a scenario. And maybe you can ask how, you know, obviously these kind of conferences will help them equip those things. But I think a lot of parents out there may not realize what is happening a lot of times, even if they're engaged as well.
Definitely.
And so when we come back, wouldn't mind you talking about that, because I thought it was quite an interesting thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Be right back after this little short break.
More of Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and live on Cayman 27 is next.
Like finding money in an old pair.
We're on a mission to reinvent the way we look at sport. En route, we'll be meeting the biggest names and the brightest stars, looking to pinpoint the precision of success.
We're all born with some degree of athleticism. As you get to that top of the pyramid, it's the very small things that make the difference.
Work hard to stay focused to get it done. I know everything I did it for a reason.
You have to be a little bit insane, I think.
We're not just the most reliable energy service in the Caribbean. Whether it's for your entertainment, lighting a path to your future, or making sure that you and your family are secure. We're there for you when it matters most. Your safety and our reliability are our top priority. We are committed to remaining the #1 utility service in the Caribbean. We are CUC.
It's time to celebrate. Join family and friends as we honor UCCI's graduating class of 2018. EY is proud to be the exclusive television broadcast sponsor of the University College of the Cayman Islands graduation ceremony. Tune in to Cayman 27 Thursday, November 1st at 7 p.m. Let's celebrate our graduates and their new beginnings. Live on Cayman 27 Thursday, November 1st at 7 p.m. EY, proud telecast sponsor, committed to giving back to the community and recognizing talent.
Flavor with a beat. Black thing now move up him dancing feet. We dance them flavor with a beat. Holy sauce, yeah, we acting on the street. Young middle age or old, move your feet. When bass if we dance, everybody have to do it.
Grace, feel the vibe, can't you feel it? Grace, delicious, so nutritious. Yes, quality when you taste it. Want affordable, look for the label.
Flavor we are fair because the spice is clearing. Flavor with a beat, no other brand than near we.
One taste and you know Grace is real.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, here is your weather forecast, and this is for the whole entire weekend. And I just want to let you all know you have a pretty good outlook for the weekend. And Jamal Clark at the National Weather Service, thank you very much for your forecast this morning and for the weekend. High of 84 today with the real fuel temperature is 96. You're going to have a 20% chance of showers, but more than likely be less than that. On the synopsis for the daylight hours is as follows. Times of suns and cloud will equal pleasant. That's exactly what I'm reading. Winds are going to be coming at you from the north at 4 miles per hour, very, very softly. That means it's going to translate to smooth to 2-foot sea heights around the Cayman Islands. The wind speed is going to continue at 4 miles per hour, but change slightly to the east. So you will get northeast winds coming in tonight. That's going to cool down the surface temperatures to 79 degrees. They say the heat index will indicate that it's about 87 degrees tonight. Going to be a 20% chance of showers as well. Tonight's going to be partly cloudy. Your sunrise this morning was at 6:24, and it's roughly that straight throughout the whole entire weekend. And your sunset will be roughly 5:55 straight through the weekend as well. And you have a similar weather forecast pattern straight through until Monday morning. And join me back with Miss Charmaine Miller. She is from the Family Resource Center, and we're talking about bulletproofing your child. And there's a free seminar coming up Monday at the beautiful Kimpton. Just for that, you should just go and check it out.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019, or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for tuning in, letting us be part of your morning, part of your day. And 233-1019, 233-1019. Is the number in the studios. And, you know, Charmaine, we got a caller online, and I know I asked a question right before I ended, but I wouldn't mind to see if this caller's still there. Hello, caller?
Sure. Hi.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Morning. Did your guest leave, Dr. McPhail?
Yes. Not
Okay.
Dr. McPhail, but I had other other guest in the studios, not Dr. Mike Field today. You're a couple of days shy.
Okay.
All right. I have Miss Charmaine Miller in the studios from the Family Resource Center talking about bulletproofing your child. If you have a question on that, that'd be fantastic. If not, call back next week.
All right.
Thank you. All right. And, Charmaine, the question was, I had an individual that did not realize that their child was bullying other kids. They thought, oh, she's sweet as pie. This is Angel that I know.
Right.
And there's an old phraseology that a client of mine told me about her husband. She says, you love Charlie. He's a street angel and a home devil. And it's kind of vice versa. She was a street devil and a home angel. And would some of these things be discussed, how to identify whether or not your child is a bully or if your child is being bullied? Because a lot of times it's not unreasonable to think that people are embarrassed. Children are embarrassed, and sometimes you maybe not having that conversation with your parents. And
definitely. I mean, this is interesting, and it's I don't want to say it's quite common, but it does happen where a child might not sort of like display those bullying behaviors in the home setting, but it happens in the school setting. Recently, we completed our SNAP training, and in our thorough assessment about sort of like the SNAP boys that are accessing the program, bullying, the construct of bullying was in there, right? And if there were any signs or reports that a child was a bully, and through those assessments that we conducted, that was a critical risk, right? Because the reality is, if a child is displaying those characteristics and is significantly being known for that in their environment, whether it is a home or school setting, they're at higher risk in the later years to engage in antisocial behavior. Right? And so that was an interesting thing that I learned through the training, just because a lot of the times as parents, we tend to minimize, and don't give it the importance that it deserves when it comes to bullying, whether it is a behavior or attitude. So it might be brushed off as just simple teasing or, kids just being kids and whatnot. But as parents, I think a lot of what we need to do is start holding ourselves accountable for our children's behaviors too, because our children's behaviors are a reflection of what's going on in our home also. Right? And that's the reality. So let's take a step back and look and consider what's happening at home. Is the child learning some of this? Whether it is, in their small home setting, in interaction, family relationships, in their small community, but are they learning some of these antisocial behaviors and attitudes? And then that's being manifested within the school setting where they do have more power and control over other peers, right? And so it's taking a look at that and also creating a culture in your home that you're able to identify what bullying is and speak to the fact that it's unacceptable, right? As opposed to just, you can't do that.
Right.
You just can't do that. You can't treat people like that. Fair enough. That's great to set that standard. But if it does happen and it does come to you, as you were talking about that parent, set some consequences in place so that that child can realize that the behavior is not acceptable. And following up with that, what else can you do so that you don't find yourself engaging in antisocial behavior and bullying others or treating others, with disrespect? What conflict resolution skills am I needing as a parent to teach my child so that they don't find themselves having to immediately result in overpowering somebody else, right? So it's about problem solving, it's about conflict mediation and coaching your child through that process. Recently, as a parent, my 7-year-old, he had a really rough day, and he was just throwing a tantrum. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm always like curious about it. What's going on? Like you generally don't have a problem with doing these things. What happened? And so he's like, I had a rough day. And I was like, okay, well, I don't want to talk about it, right? I'm like, all right, well, we can talk about it later on. And so there's that relationship there where he can feel comfortable enough to talk to me about it when he's ready without me being forceful, right? And so he was like, we're playing soccer and this kid told me that I was trash. I was like, oh, that's rough. Grab me, like, you're 7, and they're already using that kind of language and it's quite hurtful.
Sure.
Right? So getting an understanding of how are you feeling at that moment. let's role play that again, because you are going to be in the soccer field again. This is not an opportunity for me to just, rescue you and say you can't play soccer anymore, because you don't want to be around those kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're different or whatnot, but let's problem solve and figure out what skills you can use so that when this happens again and mom and dad are not around, because we're not always going to be around to watch you play soccer, you can implement. Right, and literally get down to the nitty gritty and get some solutions in place so that he can feel empowered. And this is at every level, whether your child is in middle school, elementary, or in high school, because a lot of the times, they are responding in this way. Abe, they have an audience. They like the attention. The bullies like that attention, whether it is negative or positive, and they're not getting some of that attention at home. So I'm getting it here, and fair enough, it's making others feel away, but, I'm still getting something that's a need of mine.
Yep.
So oftentimes, I think just a little tip to leave you guys with is ask yourselves as parents, why might that be? Why is my child engaging in that kind of behavior? What is going on for him at that moment? And have a conversation with the teen. Have a conversation, set the standards so it's not this, you're doing this, you, how could you, this blaming sort of like forum, and open up that conversation for what's going on for you, what's happening in the school setting. When do you find yourself engaging in that? What could we do differently? And this is about teaching them skills that they're going to use when they're adults in the workplace, because they're going to be confronted with situations.
Yep.
We're not living in a society where everyone's going to be buddy-buddy, right? You're going to have people that are going to try to overpower you, right? But engaging and joining into that is not making your problems smaller. That language that we use in SNAP, it's making your problems bigger, obviously. So those are some of the things that we're going to be talking about.
Brilliant. And where, again, because I would like, to be honest with you, I want you to have the problem of having them to open up a different room and add more tables and chairs to the seminar. When and where?
At the Kimpton Seafire on Monday from 5:30 to 7:30. Refreshments will be provided. Feel free to register online through our Facebook forum or online on our website, frc.gov.ky. Give us a call at 949-0006. It is a free event, and we are there equipped, and we're willing to create this forum of conversation so that our parents can develop a culture that's more accepting of our individual differences and just start to break that cycle of, abuse and sort of like control and power over others who look different or are acting differently to us and whatnot.
I'm glad. Bulletproofing, and the thing with it is to parents of young men, don't think that he's not susceptible to this.
Yeah.
The statistics go, and it's sad that I have to say this, but the statistics are from ages 14 to 26 is the largest demographic of individuals whom resort to suicide. And so we want to make sure that we can mitigate those risks and look at those risk factors and bulletproof our children so that none of you ever will have to experience that. And you that are being bullied, that you can find out too how you become not only bulletproof, but just call it bulletproof. And I just want to say, Charmaine, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
And to my wonderful audience, thank you all very much. It would be remiss of me not to do my normal closing. If you have a pet, please consider spaying or neutering that pet today to keep the unwanted pet population low in the Cayman Islands. In addition, life is short, life is sweet. And as Charmaine would tell you, your true value is in your friends and those around you. If you're going out, celebrate. Please do so. Celebrate responsibly. And do that by not drinking and driving, and certainly not boating and drinking. Until Monday morning, I'm your host. Godspeed, Cayman. What did it cost, by the way?
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. We're kicking off 101 minutes.
If it matters to you, it matters to us. We're Cayman 27, Cayman Informed.